Saturday ebe ni 2 weeks and ejumedie baso a 1-day business and empowerment workshop. Ye be no wo baby a de be no National Theatre ewo Accra ha and ejumedie kase ebe koso on Saturday 1st April a 1-day business and empowerment workshop. Ansana meka enyuma ye be kire ne ye no ho asem no. Me pacho di kan fa number ya mede air today Ansah. Bomodian fa number mede air today. Odo hu shemu bia yesere ebetimi ayemfa so pa. Number no 0244 47 40 93 0244 47 40 93 0244 474093. Yesterday a network for societal transformation. Debia moti ye ho asem no. Ye ho asem na wie nso wasugusu a otie. Nyame yadoma on Saturday 1st April ena dwumedie baso ewo National Theatre. Enyume ya medebe tudwe ye be kire kwane a ye faso eye no practical. Odo hu shemu bia ebitimi ayemfa so. Ye be kire kwane ye faso prepare liquid soap ewo National Theatre on Saturday 1st April. Enje bre nioma simple nipa bi etimi ye bie. Shampoo ye be kire ne ye. Conditioner ye be kire kwane ye faso prepare no. Setting lotion, styling gel, shower gel, parazona ye di senior main so ye be kire ne ye. Floor cleaner, after wash ye be kire said ye prepare after washing so ewo dwumedie ase. Bar soap ye di senior main so ye be kire ne ye. Washing powder, Dettol, tie and dye. Menim se enyuma ye bobo so a ye be kire ne ye ne bibi koso wadwenem. Ubisa ho se ye be da ne esuane me nyina adakoro. Enema ye kire ne ye no. Enje bre se dia bribia ye kano no. Liquid soap enje bre, shampoo, conditioner, setting lotion, styling gel. Se enyuma nyina enje bre enunti ena ye kire kwane a ye faso eye no. Emulsion paint ye di painti dan hu se ye be kire ne ye. Brown sugar, fertilizer, weedicide, butter bread. Ye be kire kwane ye faso eye no ewo National Theatre on the 1st April. Cake ye be kire se de eye no. Meat pie, stretch marks cream. Ye be kire kwane a eno so ye faso eye no. Fish farming, snail farming kwane ye faso ye fish. Ene enwa snails ye be kire kwane ye faso eye won. Tracking device ye de track car any motorbikes ye be kire kwane a ye faso install no ewo National Theatre on Saturday 1st April. CCTV cameras ye be kire se de install no. Multi TV ye be kire kwane ye faso install no. Floral arrangement e kwane ye faso arrange flowers eno so ye be kire kwane ye faso bouquet. Fascinator the chat okra high table kwane ye faso set high table. Enyume ya yabobosu enyuma enje bre onipa bi etimi bi ema no yie. Menim se ubisa ho se dwumedie ehun hyehyeye te sen ehun sikasem te sen se dia bribia program etie no bibia nsesai. Registration for nyuma ye kire ne ye nyina no 250 Ghana cedis. 250 Ghana cedis. Emri bi etwemu na nke ka se 2.5 eno kwan secretary wom. Yenye mobile money nso se dia bribia tie no shall say any save it towards this program. Nyame yadoma on Saturday 1st April Oba National Theatre na ukura on sem 250 cedis. Now the abedwumedie no ase aba register e o program no ase hwa. Me pacho sign fa number ne bio 0244 4740 93 0244 4740 93 0244 4740 93. Ye kire ne mewia Ansah se dia bribia dwumedie tie no ya hyeda ye videos kama ya dia to pen drive so refie nti ebia na sabe obi ni makenkan odi video no kofia obetimi ahwe pen drive no ewo TV so na kai wo kwane a ye fa so kire liquid soap, shampoo, conditioner, setting lotion, styling gel, shower gel, Parazone, floor cleaner, afterwash, bar soap, washing powder, Dettol, tie and dye, emulsion paint, brown sugar, fertilizer, weedicide, butter bread, cake, meat pie, stretch marks cream, fish farming, mechere tilapia, ene catfish, ebechere kwani efaso eyen won, snails enwa, tracking device, CCTV camera, multi-TV, floral arrangement, bouquet, fascinator, ene high table, so de ye setino, enyuma we nyina ya ehu videos a, ewa drive so a yebecha mo bia yenton yesre, ne nyina hye 250 cedis registration a all bar, wade beba no emu. Mepacho kai said date no Saturday, 1st April, memenda ebe ne na watwemienu ene dwumedie ebe koso ewo National Theatre. Yebesha se anopa 8 o'clock. Registration ye 250 all bar na odiaba. Na emum ye wie nso ye hu books ene certificates a yebeche ama obia ewo dwumedie no ase. Meje mu ama na nei mesre sanfa number no ebio. Number no 0244 474093 0244 474093 0244 474093 o page me bia kan de oye ho a eya na wababi ebeye mfaso na nampacho medase
mesumedase of fortune nyame aduma ebehia Saturday we na mo se eba so
na ye no last week
Saturday the next one here
1st April.
Oh okay,
memende na otwumie
and the event say every first week of every month.
Mepacho
all right, okay, you yeah, that's it. All right, so that's it. Live at 100.5 me da mo nyina ase we baby bia wo bia no Jebre na yensim konwa na yenkasa na yendim komo Jebre na yenkasa na yendim komo enkomo ofie Ghana ni eda soria enya de otwi Kwame production ni adwuma no ye production adwuma ni ye Kwame ye production adwuma ni ye Kwame ye production adwuma ni ye this are as we be ba no because me ka so sa akwa na ke ka me ho nsem no omo fa me ho plan oh Kwame ye production ni ye Kwame ye production ni ye Eugene se Kwame nya ye production ni ye aha ai momfanko monkodi momfanko bempeko mo Eugene me dase odwa no to mu bie no ena ayeye anyway so na me ka se mi kire mo Ghana ni sore a ade a Ghana ni bia ni ho a osore a ohwehwe cantonment se sabe nkrofo you see let's clear this issue. And on several occasions e ana nkrofo ka na akronfo na te cantonment na akronfo na te laboni wan hwe ya da chi bi no ubenya dan wo ha na so abeka akronfo no ho. I mean some group of people be na omadwane ababa besha, but there are also positive good guys, upright guys, yeah, omote cantonments ni laboni. It is a Ashiaman issue, no. And then will be we had a banter on Facebook, and then Nipaneka say, "I sir Ashiaman, there's so a crime scene." Now I'm say, it is a Bonisi cantonment. NASA police force or my investigations. We are. We are, and also much a chain crop for Cronwa. Your friend say cantonments, and there's a crime scene. But any part of your person communicating say, as a nipa bone phone quantity Ashiaman. You get it? Aha. Ebina ya no more amount for cano. Cantonments ni laboni akronfo neto. There be enya akronfo kwa any nipa bone for nkoa and take cantonments. I mean, we have very decent, upright people. Take cantonments, any laboni. And ya omo ebobra, omo nwie sika, omo sese sika nkogu, eye Cayman's Islands. Omo nwie o man sika, et said the ebinum de Ghana flag abo omo fi animu, wia o man kromfo tachi amwa, wia o man sa timi abokro no ase efunu. What me abokro no ni efunu ase by force because we are mine a man for brew yes and why you say wash gabadi as wash that eche ti Ghana for this is what China hiri on this was China hiri wash that eche and o de bokro no first pa no na akromfo am kokro no bowo your friend say asafo kumase asafo no no mo shed asenche say na sa time ni hiri fam pomam to mo shed asenche na wotete na de bom wete na chain no na ekro no na kwa me say wo sata na usha no mo de that your friend say that the senche ekokro no bo no what one thing say asem da hwe kumasi asafo ko busa that the senche that time your friend sisters ni mu ho no ya na am for the kokro no bo o mo hye that the senche enti obi te cantonments a said that the senche ena Ghana for the bomb chain na ahwiri jin na ahwiri why not gonna say until the cause south for they are there but issue na person make besi we issue no the ordinary citizen the ordinary Ghanaian was sorry at least say obetimi edidi empremiensa even twice. Because me say, ebi owa the whole day cry no me did it once. But say me was chocolate dia me did nyina manasa. But obi ne yire ne ma. On person mu didi anopa at least yan panimfon cry there. Kwa me yan de no hia. But akoda afi na onyini na ohia nutrients bi ewo ni nipadua mu ama otimi di anyini yie na watimi adwene adwempa sa akoda no at least na nopa koko ne milk kakra bia ko se kakra ana bread na butter bi ayemu kakra eni ni kosua ba ku bi ni ni milodie at least esa akola ntimi di ahu na onya emu kakra bi be lunch time a wadi anyumre dan timi amana Ansah nkwai kra na bayire ntam yensa ne eja kontomre stew agushi bi na yabubu aye salmon kakra gumuo anase ye de mackerel kakra atumuo na yatiama no wadi na at least. So that is the problem now. Yanone enkoma yes Ghana ni person wotie. We are not interested about why na share boxer shorts ne bo den why na share boxer shorts ne bo nya den why na no I mean let's talk about the issues affecting the ordinary Ghanaian on the street. That is the most important thing. Who did what and blah 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 blah. Yamfa no and to Ben and also for the meantime. And let's talk about serious issues here. So I thereby I am more serious than this. And Kwame, are you ready? Okay. So Yanko here former President Rawlings, mebo audio way. Now and I'm going to former President Rawlings video. So achapa, hold on, I'll come back. But yentie we answer.
I have tasted it all. Someone stood over here and talked about me leading a military, dictatorial, and tyrannical regime. At a time when he was 10 years old, and Liman's regime used their intelligence vehicle under the supervision of the Gonja chief, who's now the Council of State elder, Nabila, and using some of our military personnel, Kofi Bacha and Ano Ojija. My wife was 7 months pregnant, and they actually rammed a car into her back of her car, refusing her to get out of seeing her legal officers. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been so many things that would shock you. When my wife was pregnant and moving around the countryside, inaugurating the women's movement in order to create a base and a foundation for us, where were some of our wives? Were some of them not actually taking care of their fingernails and dealing with their, what you call it, their pedicure? Ladies and gentlemen, we've been through some pretty rough times. So that when some of our lesser or junior colleagues want to make some of these allegations or describe us in this manner, I think they better go and do some historical research properly.
All right, so let's go here. I think it's around 93 or so, and next 6th March. Ahomachina me share video ni eye. Me pesa me mama for opportunity, yes. Na mosumo to me should be ahomachi me share about 19 minutes, but
he did his national service at the Center for National Culture in Sunyani and is now the state linguist. Just inviting the president to deliver his speech. And now, His Excellency President J.J. Rawlings.
Fellow colleagues, distinguished guests, staff and students, children and youth of Ghana, today marks the 36th anniversary of our country's attainment of independence, and as has been the practice, this year's anniversary has been observed with this impressive parade of school children. For some years now, we have made the celebration of this National Day a celebration of youth because it was with the hopefulness of youth that we struggled for the independence of our country 36 years ago. I commend all of you who have participated in this year's parade and pay homage to your display of discipline and precision. Countrymen and women, at independence, we had hopes and expectations, many of which we may not have realized. Like many other developing countries, we have had our share of difficulties, disappointments, as well as triumphs. But what is important is our faith in the future. By our combined efforts, we have lifted our nation from the depths into which she had declined some years back, and we have set her on a course towards a better future. By our continuing efforts, we will strive to overcome any obstacles which may stand in the way of stability and sustainable development. In the same way,
36th independence anniversary. And what's in Kano? Sound Komoway were deeping. Na me would the entire Messiah a ball a year first one no and Koma Odi. Richard Piquet is that time no class 6. All right, so Richard, okay, I hear. But Aaron Babako Koko Misa. I join here on Facebook, and he's the general manager of Peace Skills Hub Africa. And Aaron, thank you. Bismarck Aka, I want to say Anthony Mokumo. I want to say Raphael Ofori, thank you so much, Raphael. We have Kofi Lams joining us, Bobie. But Kofi Lams mente sa same way. Say you say Ghana bank was vaccines no free. Cote d'Ivoire. And Nigeria for maintain, and I don't think so. Richard Piquet, okay, so Alex Kofi go also I join here now. Antonio Kumasi will be. I had a dream that Kennedy Japan was the running mate as the vice president for John Dramani Mahama Tofiakwa, and you had insecure that we are say anyway. But and come on say. Ghana ni bia wotie me na mema masma very short. I'll use less than 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do this work. A man for so Kwabena Canada Japan tapes no and nadia mummum na your friend say Professor Watting from Pom Watting tapes no so mummum. Yes, you see, and I hope sir Dampare will do the needful. What do you say? Because from Pom Boatia Mayati as you say, Galam say no Jubilee House. Akufado, I do Akufado na ewo Jubilee House o. Akufado Baomia, Omo Jubilee House. So if Obi to say a Professor from Pom Boating looking at a stature in the MPP. In fact, Professor Fribon Boating a leading member in MPP than Akufado. Anya Akufo-Addo yonko no. What you say? Anya Akufo-Addo yonko ena abraba Professor Frimpong Boating abono. Anya Akufo-Addo yonko no. Anya ni yonko no ne ba bia Akufo-Addo but for stealing on mine sika. Enko omobra onya hwe. Akufo-Addo can never point apart from politics mun tokwa patapa na obrun krofo ne niema basa no apart from you know no Akufo-Addo ntimi training sasa me brad diligently you say in life nothing, absolutely nothing. They are carrying no a media hype. So okay mubetimi use me awia or mine dia challenge, let's go. And that is what they did. Yam package no and that is why I always say people like Minia Manasseh Azuri, when I see them I feel like brofun chere so you intelligent, brofun chere nyansa. Now when you can speak so much English, you can very, very articulate with the Queen's language, it doesn't mean say we nyansa. Because when Manasseh Azuri Nisha says BNO, and when he started getting disappointed in Akufo-Addo no, he was like, oh, me koto Samsung and me drew KJT say odru circle. Now odru circle no say phone no toy no or the coffee na ya alata sema. You see, it doesn't show intelligence. No. Time we walk circle no. Some of us from Asempa FM, from Hello FM days, Asempa FM days, na ye gina kwa ho tiamu ka kire wo say, baby a wo ko no, circle hono yanton Samsung wo Samsung omo ayi your friend say omo office esi osu you je mewa anya osu na Samsung for office so walk to the office buy it they will give you warranty what the befie na say unya problem you have 2-3 years warranty ubetimi aside their call asumdwe mu what say no what the brofo chen Bobie you see brother, we are now car. You know, almost would do on what them. Oh, my baby, to be to school, all right. What Jimmy? Yes. Me, my own crop for crop PhD, but they are very foolish. I mean, idiots by all standard. What Jimmy? Unim Ansah. Ana, Nyansa, say, Yamin ama Nyansa. They are chow, what enti ade a nipa nyina be bre ansa na omahu no hu ni so simple yeah ade a obi be bre sansa na wa realize say look this is the situation no it will take you not less than a minute to analyze it and realize that look ade we say ni say na AC so when people find it difficult to analyze situations eya na ha me kakra so nto obi ka asem won't mean any din asem na okano would just piece near man kakra piece near man kakra it will give you a fair idea what does any pano I kind of cry now so one kind of cry you understand and you walk aqua talk your friend say phone cause circle what's it there be of course, I call Osusi de book or circle. Utoria ya or the idea no coino. After now, who say, and yet. So I could follow a package, normal packet, no, I didn't a Ghana for. Over two from Pom Boatinum, our party. And Gabi, a leading member. From Pom Boatin, leading member. And I hope said Dampare will do the needful. Said ye Dampare and a law communum Emma Yabachemi and I don't know. Ada ya Rebecca way. Eh? And Yamina Mekayo. Aye, your friend say, Canada Japan Kroya. I know see Jubilee House for Chicha and Sassy aviation Sassy. Canada Japan now kind you see, sir. Dampare was not Canada Japan. Canada Japan and lobby man of course he has no merit to be there. Dampare need any merit to be there. They know. And the Canada Japan no car some no. A video no hono. One one ya bonnet. Me and me book Canada Japan the no. Then we cited something. I was asking us what. Yeah, we someone some say. Somebody yes see idea issue. Any someone Canada Japan. Mena. Okay, so say you see fake news. Criminal offense. And yes, sir. So say I'm going to check from Paul Boatin. It means that yes. A Kufado Bawomiana Omutu Galamse no. And I know Friday is a Saturday. Mikoshe na a crusading guide in him. Say Omo Ako for Japan for baba beti ensu agalamse asenani. You see, oh say one hwe ye pe. Udi agora. Me pa cho say wo tie me ya. Enya say enkola no ye ne nsu ade o. Enti enya didi atem ma wo. Tell me. Enya adidi atem ma wo say. Enipa wo bo na etu galamse no. Eya kufaro ne baomianom na etu. They are the people doing that. Akufado ne bawomianum ana etu Jubilee House on me to obi Kwabena uma me to obi papa bi to obi agongo e hono ote Kwabena despite hono ote kwasi chume hono ote aye bawomiani Akufado nete sa Jubilee House wo and yasi Jubilee House for to galamse ya Oba se me fan kwankwa me maami ana me fan kwankwa wan Why not me fan question? Wamu to galamsey. So, sir, young chief from Pom one time for now quarter. Then let's assume that yes, it's true. Akufo-Addo is involved in South Galamsey business. Now, we are president, we are vice president, and this Bawumiano crowd there, we are criminal. Eche Akufo-Addo nuemu. Bawumiano, we are criminal. Eche Akufo-Addo nuemu. Because at the end of the day, sir, yeah, when you say a Bawumia and a leading MPP, echo a China, echo says Resika, some was happy channel. Fato Sumame. A Bawumia and a leading MPP called China. The reason why, and I strongly believe, sir, China for our Matia Swat to see Okroma Galamsey. I Bawumia. Bawumia is the reason. Bawumia is the architect. Bawumia, another criminal. This way now, way NLP president Teddy, you know, this guy Bawumia, way NLP president Teddy Okroma. Sabi obeton mine wie kra. Sabi obeton mine di kra. Pasha ko so bad Bobie. Yeah, Bawumia is my paddy. But wakosua subamboni bia. Amwa wono. He's too young. So obe these are criminal near mano. Here this is Bawumia. Oh, Bawumia ni. Bawumia on di Jombo money in opposition. Emo mo kwa sika wa China. And the China for no ati eswa to say with Galamsey no. I hope say obia hu baby e free ba. I hope so obia hu this is Bawumia. Bawumia na shesi to no. Anyo no. Anyo na kura bo no. A whole deputy governor. When na ya no odidi Joma ama atem no. Bawumia we na ya na odidi Joma ama atem no. And it's so sad. It's so sad. Bawumia we look a whole deputy governor holding a ball in your hands, begging for money. Now, that you acquire no crown and catrase, say a fundraising. When you say fundraising, Nanka trase. Now, when you look at this. This is the vice president of Ghana. And that's the reason why the Chinese people don't respect us. On the entire Umbuyo Okroma. We go China for no more baby a new man. If you have this guy as your vice president, and this is the vice president, and China from Kwalano Mujano or Sets or Muscano. Even 20 years, 18, 19. Just look at that. Look at Bawumia. This is Bawumia, a former deputy governor, now the vice president. Always walking in people's shadow. This is the guy. Wale Osibanjo. You see Wale Osibanjo. This is the guy who wants to become president. Thank you. Medase. And this is Bawumia for you. Enti me chakra. But from Pom Boateng, I hope, say, they will do the needful. Said yeah, from Pom Boateng Kano. And me tie, your friend say, your man, Canada Japan, me tie Canada Japan so. Canada Japan say they corrupt. And other ya, he wants to name and shame. You see, ma amount for Emma Canada Japan career. Canada Japan is not a serious man. He has no integrity in life. Who is more criminal? A thief than Canada Japan. A criminal. You have a murder case hanging around your neck, Canada Japan. Say NDC ba urban intina wuchwa Akufo-Addo mother pa. NDC will come and you'll be prosecuted. Somebody should tell that guy Kennedy Japan for me. You will be prosecuted. Wokroma. You remember before how much said the much chinko for how much no. You remember before how much I was all boxer shots pepe. Until the 1 year prayer campaign man this read their jai. Then this no your mama or ben. Nobody should just, you know, people want to oppress man for now Kennedy Japan. Yanti Kroma na Kennedy Japan adamfo. Kwame Osu. Ekwato to air condition. Say 2 bedrooms or say air condition 36, say 47. Anya Kroma. Asema na Kennedy Japan meka. Wa me defend no. Wa me defend no. Because I am not downfall. Or in the Chessica no. Kwame Osu Ansah. Italian country. Achibota on a Nadia. Canada Japan. You see, what was that? On my way, yabbing. And just what 2 or moto. Now, Ochene home. Into a and some make a cano. A break. You know why? Look, let me tell you. Canada Japan scarkem. The contract scarkem. They don't want to pay him. Anytime you hear someone attack Akufo-Addo, the contract scarkem, they are not paying him. But Omianum na sa because so Tianeka or the Beka campaign. That is the trick. Canada Japan, Nyasa Ben, Wotrimwa, Unim Nyasa Chema Ukruma. Nisika come, Canada Japan's car come, and they don't want to pay him. It's so simple. And somehow can him dada. Why the name said Akufo-Addo said a good Ghana for you, who doesn't know? Shakwan Faso Gu a friend the data bank, your friend is a Heritage Bank. Oko Porter, or Magic Jinko 4 businesses a free almost them. Obia him. Everybody is aware. Ya ka. Even your tax system, or the good yuma. Kwame. Yantiana a beverages manufacturers better that a 20% increment in your friends what do you call it? Excise duties. So we know Akufo-Addo said they go for you. Sabe ya no nabusia phone kwa de be. We know. And I don't need Canada Japan to come and tell me. And the company and an Crawford and the aquatic woman and I was not there and I no there. Forget about this guy. I don't know. I say we after now Baba you who are free to say what they won't come home and when you come you do something different, something new. And they be different Baby. A man for question Canada Japan contracts more about a year your friend say for the man or your friend say meters contract. They should go and check. For contract or the man Canada. They should go and check. You are one of the thieves. You are part of the thieves. You are part of the criminals. Criminal guy. And today you are walking around your first shamasha bobo to say the oye di pebiama. And I got Japan and I am MPP man or more badama over the Akojira catch so obey the president. Canada Japan NDC I made cabinet now branch chairman growing branch chairman. Obi a wutimi gina radio so edi du oba tem ade oba ajapade na se nyina didi na tem. Canada Japan. You. And look at you. And then the obota no she coat say na panta na ye den say me hear the sada message say I look at this person. Now you want to wash your money. We say am people mo na dey say Jimmy 7 better. Who be ban political party BM. Me wa na Crawford send this 70-minute videos them say gara for you Canada Japan videos free before so. What do I want the bonnet na wie? Mudi your mind no bonnet say or mind wie no. quickly no udwane because Ghana for there mamenye say wo nyina abegematum enti quickly no wada no hu Messiah dwane. If you want to be like Rollins and Fanu Wankobo criminals. When they started, Rollins sorry, you know, or kind of pay, we don't go sit down for them to cheat us every day. Now, guys, you're right in your man, Kruma. What do Obiba, Abba 2 TV so? I'm Yakunu ya. Yankan was a year. You want to peg yourself and you feel and say, oh, hey, Bema, Pebe Bijina Namadia and Shadi. Pebe Bijina. Now, when you have your source, nigga, attempt the day, ye back, ebo ha, and your delegate to all MPP more only me and son about to Obama. One pet. To me, did you a bad term, the Edward Barna as singing Eddie dinner term at your age. And it be a brave way. Now, people before Bojo so, hey, Kennedy, look at you today. And you are coming to blame them now. Oh my sin, now beguno. And you are by Ubeguna Guno. So Kukura na pesa, oh yeah, Obian found the opposite year or your party ni be aye. Ah, there be our threatened party no. Unim ni sikadema. No, I said that interview. Some dear group and someone make a can or boa or the baby aka. Credit Japan ni only foot3 car only baby aka. It's a lie. Lie mine. Lie. Edebe mpone ne nkwasi ade na akufado ade no okromo ayenim. Edebe ade foforo bay. Save na abachira omo mukum nipa 8 na NDC for 8 no ana. I mean please. Where you yenim. All right, so ana me hu ade bi about educhum. Ana ya me nwa kakra. Educhum. Educhum say enkoda omo schools, right? Yeah, omo abono. Omo baba be good schools no. A statement, right? Okay, so get fatu amame na quick main monitor. Mimia 1-on-1. Mene honorable Tobo. Honorable Peter Tobo, MP for West, Upper West Region, and or a member of Defense and Interior Committee. Yanini komo on this Ashiaman issues and other stuff, and komo. So, Minister of Education, almost statement in or say, let me run through quickly. Non-performing schools to be closed down. Affected students to be redistributed to other nearby schools, Dr. Educhum. Okay, so the Minister of Education, Dr. Yawose Educhum, has called on the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools and Principals of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, that is TVET institutions, to improve their educational outcomes or stand the risk of having their institutions closed down. Okay, so it's okay. Kojo Fiagbao said Educhum is becoming very useless as education minister and is indeed very useless. Listen to Educhum. Schools na enya de no. Omo ba close schools no. Na omo de nkoda no, are you ready? Na omo de enkola no omo de enkola no akọ schools na omo ya de no. Na schools na omo ya de no de teachers na ono ayi krokra me nyusu. Ano obi busa no oba e west schools no dodo say. Me chacha some people we ya nkasa kufa do MPP we ya no. Ewurade nyankopo edampen. Endi baby ade nkola na ekọ no. Ede na kire say baby ado okay so yam fa say second institution bi wo let's say Koforidua enkola na bombon school ni nyaade na mo aguno na ya de enkola na nyina ba achimota ento o meduru achimota na o nyina ye brilliant students o amde enkola na nyina beduru achimota na nkwala no nyinaa yɛ brilliant students ɛdi nkurɔfoɔ wɔ kraa kyɛ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ wɔ paa nti ɛdɛ na ɔmo nya certificate ana ɔmo kɔ wiae Akufo-Addo bawomia no koraa de asɔ nim nyansa kakra I don't know Fremont pare no koraa de so no agye agu ɛyɛ me nwanwa no nanama menti ase because look sɛ oka kyerɛ me sɛ ye be good schools tio mu good schools school no a obetum no ni nyina ne sɛ akola bi ɛwɔ school mu akola na abon in the school no nya ade ntu omu begu saa school so dan akola na nya ade no no omo ayi wo mo ɛde omo akɔ school sa omo ɛyɛ ade na teachers na wo schools no omo yɛ ade no wo mo yɛ super angels omo kyerɛ
Kwabena unim de ekoso last week me send na gratifo am say wakasa you we say no senior high school students omo ko tertiary no lecturers need complaining about our performance.
Yes.
And then if we basic, not gratify the statement by say 3 years in captation grant abandoning to your bidder.
We were.
Captation grant ya doctor say your Dutchman or Casas was 3 years in government in 3 year bidder.
Which is under or no?
Yes, say you basic primary junior high or say 3 years in so you can imagine teachers headmasters no struggle or more struggle because capitation grant akwayi school fees every one more capitation grant yi nyema bebrananka with parents tua wo muntua PTA no munia de year from or say 3 years ni capitation grant in tua bida and then on asema work say non-performing senior high schools no ni site TV to mbetwetwem no say no edru is it not wasi examination school bia person nkura atwa enti ade omo ye ne say ye parents sika eto apoman kwala atwere.
Wow.
Yes.
Mami Juma we mrasesia Mr. Just a minute. Ora Peter Ansah, Executive Secretary Institute for Education Studies. Chairman Akwaba.
Mejuzo
Boko de minua. Nyame adom boko. Minua yewra aduchum ona ye nwoma asuafo. Oni edi nkomo bi. Enkomo no ensini ye trimti na ye be complain na ma ye de na ebrew na osisese no schools a enkola no perform ye no wo mo ba be close it down na om de nkoda no akoka schools a mo perform ye ho minim se what is asem we ya and da om website sesi a me no ka say
yeah, but as the mature with your phone, I think any room of a visa, many boss or Ministry of Education on my Facebook page. And in the first place, you know, Nika said, Minister, how much check your data and who's certain schools low performing. I think one of the things our ministry and also every day is more assess the performance of various schools now. So state then no person or the fason and Yamian Ukraine no dear won't mean say educational policy. Obviously, I can say you will be or person or you be taken not to say. Or they na educational policy be anywhere ebe shese suku bi kwale wo mu enya de na the way ebe ma o ma ya de ne say ye be close school no na ya ma mo frɛ wo school mu akɔ another school na interesting o kakra wan kan headmasters ni teacher for ne o mo de be o so o mo so e be che o ma go schools ni so say o mo so yeah, be more market one camp. But on a more serious note, I think it's a comment and say yeah encourage your system no Bobie. Say we share near my students perform here. Near my be if you are you better say if we be student factors, if we be teacher factors, if we be school factors, if you are parent issues in Tinama Bufran and performing. edi wo krampo na da abofra na etro exams na kasa no nyema bitimi si e ma ontimi enya de nti se opesa wo deal with this issue the first step you take as a Ministry of Education and say why identify schools na omonya de awie no na wo bomodin at wo mrante no maba wa omoye research wo ministry ho agumu no mehu these schools are individual schools no na schools way over the years omuntimi pass rate na enye more than 10%. If you be so be over school be over resources no money school be over teachers for no and bomb money school be over omuni ebian kunya school be over textbooks na so several factors and these factors will be unique to every school. Into when you know na what baba betinase na betinase na ka we share headmasters yi tiri ya minister share omi na nka obeka ni say ni anom ni adofo yen ati asihwemu hu say schools be 20 organ ase a omuntini perform yi enu ntino yen ministry ni pese yen say for the next 3 years ye the ABCD ba be tukwamu ye best headmasters for say omo be di sa lema ye ni mu kan no ma fa kon be fa so a by the next 3 years, schools see or more than Bobby Cosso, name a toss and say, name our schools in here, if you know, rather bomb on the mom. Then you are making education policy. Then you are thinking about transforming the academic state of that school from what it is to a more improved form. But if you come and say, we'll be closing down the school, then you'll be a bit me.
Enkomo we me pa chaw mira se edrum masua ni mu aya na wo na edwane beto wo betimi atro krata tententente dia koma adutwuma maye se wonyai ade no a wode ba no msere wa
ye as a home ne kan ye be
mira me pacho wenya
because he is the Minister of Education. This is the thinking that he's got and they are serious because headmasters see bread almost bread if your research have shown say school leadership the principal factor in my students and performing, why do we move headmasters? Why do we transfer them? Recently, one because there was an assignment headmaster be an all presec. Moving to another school in I think in the Eastern Zone or so. The school is now doing well. So he believes one of the ways that we can transform schools, and he said, "Ubers is not the leadership of the school." But to get up and say you are going to collapse the school because the students are not performing well. Performance sometimes is not because of their fault. Sometimes it's because you have not given the headmasters the needed things that they need to run the school. And that is one of the critical issues that headmasters are complaining. Indeed, and we say station because I'm catching say why am I in the senior ya bone ya brow sumuno. Headmasters see omunya resources no. Omuko kasa and so pe na mo pamoma na se mo treating. At the same time, no question what school may baba be good school. Now what kind of educational system are you running now?
Mira, mamen na was minimum say ya see a pemre na be boaye na ye break it down problems and what ye educational structures ni mumbi na se wante na letter no so twro no mame
mate
me da se bebre nyamisa all right yo nana so this is the situation
briefly unim adini nyina ne se hwe Opa schools now say omo ya underperforming. Omo nkwa ne performance wo from no. Onko fa headmaster, assistant headmaster wo poku ware we ge nko ho no. Nkwa ne performance no. Enye ne be me na koso. Because Kwabena e school bi wonu ma ba bi school ni wo no. Prempeh college nkwa ne wo mu no. Teacher fo ni nya time. Say first na you go school 3 times a year. First term, second term, third term. Say almost say 2 semesters. Wo ko 3 months, wo betina fie 3 months. Wo betina fie na wo as a parent no e wo se wo nyet extra teacher ni e ma na kire wo bana de so ba e bi school no ba bi e hye no parents na omo wo sa area hono mu no omu ni sika na omo be afford say wo petition ni say ne bana makwan abefie but nko omo wo wakra no kumase no me sister mum pardon me say me ba atwedi ne ma twins enkwa ne be fie a omo ye classes saa is omo kogempa enye school no 3 years no omo ko ye no hwayi no omo kokotwe
ya wo fo no effort
me ba e wo school no maths English all the core subjects elective subjects e biara me teacher ni a omo teacher for ne say wanye ne say enye yi because wo hwe English subject na syllabus na ewo mu no je se nkwa do form 3 no kwa na me say da bre se best 100 kwa na me say 30 kwa na no mo sio best 10 e di se wanya extra classes ya omo ye extra class teachers ni ye no omo ankasa organizing individuals ya so ya organize e dey maye ma no but school bi one ma Kwabena sa de wani ni ho enti se enkodani parents na ntimi arrange sa extra classes no me ba sapon all the core subjects elective subjects no every month bia na me tua 250 bia.
Can you imagine?
Yes, because teacher for ne me kasa emre be no mo de kire nkura na de first ye ko school no ne ye terminal report ye say free senior school policy be terminal report to be ama because enkura ni ko fie na teachers ni benya time na on be mark exams no dey report na ban enkura fofra ko enti hwese wo ba ko school 3 months oba betin fie 3 months no wasan so akọ no betin fie 3 months 3 months na wo ko school be betin fie 3 months ase Kwabena wanya extra teacher ni obe fie na se obe ko ebia classes a e de na kwa no kwa kosua enti nyama bebre na count for that schools na wo mu performance e wo from one enti se do mu ye nyina dan se school bia ni abre headmaster bia ni abre pese obe ne nkoda ba kwatwe wasia e beba so o ma faili enti Kwabena de omo ye na me kasa de we your open secret e was Ghana omo jiska
sa
omo jiska external vigilators omo ko ye wo ska ye tua de ma wo mo omo jiska na omo kire nkora no because omo ankasa hwe the way system na sia ye free senior high school na ma secondary education aye na se wo ma fa kwan bi so a wo bebu ankoda na ma akotwera resource me ba na wo school nkoda no omo awepoto
enti sebe ya yenye kufuado fancy entiane
yes
ye mububi mu
because at the end of the day no mu school one mu teachers ne headmaster no mo na mani mu gu ase enti enwu kwan ye be force be bu ankoda no enti kwa be say school bi we bi a akura bi a secondary school bi we bi akura bi ase na say ahodin ni ho no mo a akura ni be fie 3 months na ye de be organize classes di ama no a 3 months no wotifie e dey no kosua 3 months for school mo
nothing
nsunya hwe akura no wo school mo no 3 months no ya wo ne nam ho no na Kwabena wo kwa wo ba no e dey ya na wo sua teacher for no nkoda ne dooso enti dey ya na wo chiro enti se wo as a mother as a father as a parent no sa classes extra classes no went me organize bi ama wo ba anase wo enye sika ntua akura no be kwa kotwera wo ntwere hwe
so which means at the end of the day no what create problems with your policies
yes
and now we no upe enkoda no ene teacher for the ashe wo
yes
then even to worsen matters no kra no ugu schools no na oba and west say
na we
because as we are ya kasa say wo check baby to say Achimota ne other schools no still they are struggling with infrastructure enti o se sabi afri baby akwa bi
edi akotata so
na omo da hen na omo didi wo hen wan common sense
me say report e menya di free konomu oduma se ne say so mu kogu ho no mo sa ne nkra ni bi da abonten
report
yes
ehun video ni ade
wo da abonten enti ahun so school infrastructure ni ho no mo accommodation ni ho no mo ya akoda da abonten Kwabena entontum bile yi mu no mu ni ade ne nkrofo ma ko school ne nkrofo ma da abonten enti wan kasa wo policy na wa create no obi ko influence prepare college obi ko wegehe obi ko Achimota school no mu ni ade ja school bi wan ehun se ja kakra wo parents nsem a on betimi afford maybe additional tuition as a classes e bi amomoma but there are some certain schools e be a school ni hye no akoda no kra no wo ko school kra even 5 cities kwa be na akoto aduane adi kwa e bi ni ho e di sa kra no betre fie 3 months a 3 months ni nyina wo tifie sa
David are possible be now they don't even repeat non-performing students so all they do is mass promotion that is all
na Kwabena report kra ma end of term no cry report to cry. We go school 3 years. First year every term will be an eba because you say 3 months. No say yama kwanya. Teacher for no suit fie. No more you report. Say once you kwana no mama kwanya mo kono. Second batch and so ba. And to report to cry money we performance near day. Ya kasa wo ko wani manasa wo sound.
Sound crofo we ya nanama.
Oh.
Sound crof me hu kofo. Sabe kofo ne nkrofo no wo mu anyimi saa. Me who President Kofo. Sound Kofo we Akufo do. Dey be pa ne ha wo mo nanama. Dey.
Kwabena na do your case magana.
No me on.
Oh, Kwabena na do your case magana. Oh, complaining about non-performing.
Okay, Matthias.
She basic 3 years ni capitation grant into
4 years you need no textbooks.
Yes, what the new curriculum aba and what textbooks my. What's you complaining say schools being performing. I done a school snap even basic education kwa mogunu ma say no 3 years ni school feed na kwa bia ye per head wa enu 90 pesos me said that be 90 pesos as a day 97 pesos school feed you akoda bia enu once untimi ntwia
wonim say na ya me ya say nkrofo na nesre president champion no say na champion te brofo.
Oh, adia na doctor di twum na mka nanse na ibia bi me boy na metie ena nka be keka sika kwa nka metina America ena adwuma na me ye wa America enso wonso wa minister ye na wo code nso former director general Ghana Education Service wo di code nso mo di jijin ko sika
mamen ka semenchiro that has been MPP trump card ena nka ya enka ye wo ye sika dada
keka sika nko dia
enka ko sika ukoti obi ono beka bi se wo sika wo de hwe payo sajide samia oku edwomboadu so unim say unim omo the next generation ba obeka say omo sika dada no mba politics sa na we no mutio sa na
enso na komo de wo mo ye de ye no omo nye generation ba ko ye hu wo ye no ne ye yesen wo mo 10 times bebre ye de say eye aduma me atueka me komo di wa mo
samia oku ba sempa FM no agina wa je lord fe ai jonkuma ne chere what say tie ni enti eya sa no mo mpanimfo no ajibi se mo keka no e na me ye na na obi meka se me asabi kofo ko opposition ya me ni kere se de copy asabi ka
na nu ye
asabi me
contract akese
ni ne KSM fie me KSM na we KSM papa kokora no de kwabena yere ho nam se papa odi pia car beje so I want the KSM fie
on se kwabena kwanya o mo fa so o mo pesika no enti sika na shifiri wo mo nsem because won't me member you su Ghana for population 33 million now on fa on mine no sika pimpim aba wo mine mu no na nkongogu account mu na wo sacrifice ye
me da se bebre na live on Accra 100.5 citizen show so quick one maya juma and juma bebre e wo fia ye enkomo bebre wo ho a edi we Monday edition citizen show and we are here Benya FM ye do mo ase papa and I say nkoma Dagban FM e wo tamale for ye da mo ase matemonka pa ya affiliate stations on YouTube and so ye do mo ase and Facebook mo join us ye da mo ase and we have some few text messages here. Let me check 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so we have Patrick Issel here on Facebook. Bismarck Marvin Che Minter Jr. says, Mr. Host, the decision of the Minister of Education is flawed. I was a service personnel in St. John's Grammar School in Achimota. Can you imagine that a whole science department had just 3 teachers running the Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3 year batches? Nobody. Okay, so yeah. Nobody would expect students in these schools to perform well at the WASE. You should do the needful by recruiting teachers to discourse. Okay, so this one is coming from Bismarck Marvin Chaminter Jr. And the point is, Omo discanning now. So, baby, any baby, Omo could require a recruitment. David Mousy, Paul Mousy, a message in my kind that Richard Aqua says will be. So let me move on. Yarma na Adarawa. Even my son, I have to pay 800 to review his lessons. And son will try the final exams. Okay, so Alexander Quest says, Commander, the policy they brought in is just like American and Canadian policy. But the children here in Canada have online classes while they are on vacation. Okay, so Alexander is sending me a message from Canada. Okay, into a patch saying, Omo akwenya no mo no chen ha. But says, Jesus Christ, you want to close down schools in Ghana? Our education system has come to an end. Oh, they should just reconsider it. All right, so Kokari Junior Tieros is watching the show live with Asrewa Assemblyman Honorable Baroski, AK still maintain. All right, thank you, Honorable still maintain. Richard Aqua says, my word. Anyway, Wisdom TV says, you have something, you know something. I have a student in Fancyman Girls who is complaining of not having enough science teachers. So if you are going to add others to what they already have, why don't you improve the poor performing schools rather? Common sense. Yes, that is common sense. Wisdom TV says, I have devoted myself organizing extra tuitions for my church members who are in SHS because the complaints are too many. Now, Ruben says, okay, so let me move on. Kojo Ansah says, good work done. Bobie, more fire. All right, thank you. Musa Bawa, I'm watching you live from Achulu family in Kentampo. Good afternoon to my dear sister. All right, so Nana Ajima says, education minister, no, I have said a boom kakra. Nana, a bomb, papa, a Jim. Jim Jane. Brother Dennis is here. The resources by education in Canada is one of the best in the world. All right, so this one is coming from Brother Dennis Ho. Thank you so much, Brother Dennis Ho. Obiso sending me a message. Me, my check your here. Also, it's true. Physics, I pay 400. Chemistry, 400 Ghana cedis. Elective maths, 300 Ghana cedis. Infants, I'm paying for elective subjects plus English 5. And this one is coming from Becky. All right, so thank you, Becky. Then we have, I have a teacher friend. Also, sometimes as teachers, I feel sad when I'm marking their exam scripts. It's so sad, Bobie. All right, so this one is coming from Ame Jemfua and walking Tampo. All right, yeah, that can Tampo for us. Then many of Bobie Bisu says, yeah, many honorable Tobu, we are, I will work on it. But Mame, will be sending me a message, right? Or a Facebook. Honorable. Now, you know, any background they send him, you know. Or say, Enra Vassens nearby, I think 3 days ago, Vassens nearby, you know. Or say, government no cost free Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. And seriously, I was doubting the person. Until I just found this, Obi sending me a tweet on Honorable Samuel Kujetwa Blakwa, a war. And let me quickly just run through. He says that Akufo-Addo government should not be embarrassed to admit that it reached out to Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire for urgent bailout on Ghana's avoidable and indefensible shortage of childhood vaccines. Yesterday's consignment came in from Nigeria as a benevolent gesture, which the Ghanaian government has promised to replace when it finally puts its house in order. There is absolutely nothing wrong saying thank you to a neighbor who exhibits superior public health policies, better prioritization, and who responds positively and swiftly when you come begging. Ghanaian officials should not be concealing this fact and therefore appearing ungrateful within the Committee of Nations, even though I acknowledge that an honest and transparent narrative from government will further expose false claims by President Akufo-Addo during his message on the State of the Nation last week that childhood vaccine shortage was a global phenomenon. And there are other, but it's serious. What one was out waiting from Okujeto?
Junior, I'm in chat here for.
Let's hear for Joso.
We are, if he said,
So opese ka Ghana asemo a baabi a odi share free no we are not angry enough. Minia Sam Jones or say we are not angry enough as a people. Ghana Dutch asem na yekan yo.
Yeah.
When we are talking about childhood vaccines, we are talking about the future of the country Ghana. Ya wo 30 years ago na say polio kura wan ho bi. 10 years ago polio kura wan ho bi. Ma enne ya wo akola na the akola no onye the access to all these vaccines abema nipa nyi. Na okache say yekoye nim. Ghana no ye share reverse ya. Yekoye chi den. But
it's a cry serious.
No, it is a serious matter. But that notwithstanding, say nuya or your neighbor out me kwasre bi kura onye bi ma. Ede na na wo de wo the black star has become darker than before. And it is so sad. And enyum na ya metabon. This is a Ghana be here. This is
the situation. This is the situation.
At my be here. April May anyway. You're not cry Becca. Sure. Say when you are there na catch and say we Ghana. What on earth can we have a public health policy that will fail us so much? To the point, the last Obi Bisa question of Parliament. What is your last talk before you place order? What's your last talk? What is that emergency limiter? You have to place order immediately. Sana stock now, baby adrunu. The new order will come at the time of unye zero.
But young got say President Eskimsa or the MI, and it's so sad that 78-year-old man and a president can just look into the.
Mr. Speaker, I must say, however, that the current shortage of some childhood vaccines in the country has concerned me greatly. This shortage, if prolonged, will affect negatively Ghana's childhood immunization program, which has been recognized. Mr. Speaker, I must say, however, that the current shortage of some childhood vaccines in the country has concerned me greatly. This shortage, if prolonged, will affect negatively Ghana's childhood immunization program, which has been recognized as one of the most successful in the world. The WHO has only recently expressed worry about a steady decline in measles vaccination coverage globally because of the concentration on the fight against COVID-19. In accordance with our desire not to become part of this global trend, government has taken steps to ensure the stocks of these vaccines are procured and supplied as a matter of urgency and emergency. The Ghana Health Service has developed an elaborate program to catch up on children who have missed their vaccine immediately stocks arrive. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage all parents and caregivers to ensure that eligible children are vaccinated once this program begins. No child should be denied access to vaccination. Mercifully so far, not a single child has died as a result of the outbreak. This House...
But Honorable, this is Mr. President. And Mr. President, excuse me, say a global problem.
Yet we are part of the globe. But every country has some specificity. We have our strength. Our population. You have your policies and you have your plans. The simple question is a global problem. What was the last talk before you place order? What was the last talk before you place order to the point say Neobeka say Adiano Ebini Hobium. But Ghana Health Service has put up a comprehensive program. They will catch up with the system. And Akwalabia one massive vaccination, they should make sure they cover it up. What is creating that gap? So that gap can only come about as a result of incompetence. So that gap can only yes, it can only come about as a result of bad planning. It's simple logic, sir. So we can name 1,000.
Yeah.
That's what issue na could do 200. You place an order before 200 mesa. For you to sit down one idea ko zero. akwala ye won na onye vaccine ma yamfa nwo no
yeah
after the okra you can't even have the gut to say oh adie na emergency no I am giving you 48 hours I am giving you 72 hours I am giving you 1 week near na beba country ha you see very soon you pushing minister for health now but can't say oh within the next 2 to 3 weeks but he can be specific with time
our parliament obey you senior and by age probably you are the senior so honorable Kuchedo Aplako
oh sure
honorable Akwaba
yo medase Bobie Vilia
boko nya constituency so boko
oh nyamiado
Ghana for say omumpa yeta wachi de we bia no ensi wiye na enye yiye ma ho unia honorable Peter Tobo so menen na share studio house so chia wo
oh yes me vime
time
na you welcome all for na na oye JC president into we go way back
oh okay oh anya munimu da
yeah pa
I see also but honorable to be honest with you me show yana me Facebook page obi be comment say vaccines no eye enkoda no endro no efri Nigeria Cote d'Ivoire meje na chini to be honest with you any be 10 minutes no be sending me or tweet a page then I'm like what is happening and you must say no na be me revelations no yasi ya afako ja media for odu be ja Bobie na Bobie anka na oyende. So then we will come back to you and ask you what is happening.
Yo, Bobie, very good question. What is happening? That is the question all Ghanaians are asking. Yo, abanya omon pese omo bedinokre. Ejumana yediama omo no sono omon pese omo beye ejumano. This has been the most disappointing government in the entire history of our country. Abysmal performance, disastrous public officials, ineptitude, super incompetence. Those are the descriptions that are most befitting of this government. This is the first time in Yenyana your living memory Yankaida when babies in Kolaya warm omo and to me and your vaccines. Many workers say there is a measles outbreak in the north. Now me tie doctors almost say omo medical school 25 years ago, 30 years ago. They told them, say, Ghana's immunization drive has been so successful. Into diseases like measles, no, they just glossed over it. Omuhu bida in over 3 decades of practice. Into to have a situation where, say, we now have a measles outbreak. Not 1, not 2, 3 major childhood vaccines. Vaccines, no. Say you in Kolana that same day and within a specific period, they must receive those vaccines. We have had a government show such incompetence, crass ineptitude. Meaning evidence I may work HRSL July last year. And a World Health Organization, warned the Ghanaian government, said the way are more common, your ineptitude, your refusal to order, to place orders, your refusal to pay your debts. They owe Gavi. They have refused to pay Gavi. They have refused to place orders. It's July last year, and a WHO, a warning, Ministry of Health, the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government said, Omo place omo orders July last year, Omo place omo orders there will be stock out, and now there will be shortage. Ghana would not have those vaccines, and we will put the lives of millions of Ghanaian children at risk. They ignored that warning from WHO. July last year. Andra, all the attempt to engage in propaganda, in annoying PR, Ubekaya, Mr. Hiagba, put out some tweets, others now more places, are starting by trickling in. The government should be commended. Many Ghanaians were offended because Eddie Kaino, you should not have created a shortage. You should not have created a shortage. And the attempt by the president, Ubekaya, during the message on the State of the Nation last week, to claim that this was a global phenomenon, and to twist what was happening, to distort what was happening. Now, what has emerged, they say, contrary to the claims, say, or more placing order, na the consignment na you receive and draw, it is as a result of that order that was placed. I can confirm to you today, sir, all those claims are false. Now, the AC, based on the gravity of the matter, the fact that there was a measles outbreak spreading and there's nationwide shortage of these vaccines now, and our government had ignored the warnings from WHO since July last year. They had no choice. President Akufo-Addo had no choice but to go on his knees literally and figuratively and beg his Nigerian counterpart and Ivorian counterpart. And my unimpeachable sources within diplomatic circles, HSA, President Akufo-Addo, Wapacho, he's literally begging for assistance. Nigerians and the Ivorians or more supplies or more no, because they have been more competent, they have prioritized, they are not diverting funds in the name of building a cathedral and now spending 20,000 euros an hour on private charter jets and now having almost 1,000 workers at the presidency, political and non-political. They don't have those, time for those frivolities and misplaced priorities. And to say, we are begging them for a bailout. And I can confirm to you on authority, sir, contrary to the claims by government propagandists, sir, Omwa order na the consignment na a bedroom Ghana and Drano, a result of that order. That is not true. This is Nigeria's benevolence. The bedroom Ghana and Drano, the Nigerian president, President Buhari, and President Akufo-Addo, Mathieu will appeal. Yandia, your excess, and Yabema Mokakra ebe lasting for 6 weeks. But on condition, sir, because the Nigerian taxes they toy. I cannot tell the Nigerian people, sir, I have diverted to Ghana. How am I going to account? The condition is that when you put your house in order, sir, more order whenever it comes. In Parliament, the health minister was saying, if we are lucky, 3 weeks. Whenever it arrives, then give us back our consignment. Replace what we are giving to you now. And the fact of the matter, they say, the Ebedru Ghana is the benevolence of Nigeria. It is Nigeria's vaccine. And Omoka said, we can come over for it. And we use our CASA. We are tracking the movement of our CASA, and it is the CASA jet, which is in the fleet of jets managed by the Communication Squadron of the Ghana Air Force. or use the CASA to go airlift those vaccines, which are now being distributed across the 16 regions of Ghana. The Ivorians are also about to respond based on the special appeal which has been made by our president. Now, what is worrying is that after the Nigerians have responded so timeously and so swiftly, they are quite surprised and unhappy. Say, government officials in Ghana are not acknowledging their role, which is within the spirit of good neighborliness, Pan-Africanism, helping one another. But at least acknowledge it, so that next time you come, we can be motivated to continue to help one another and to help each other. But to receive this benevolence and then turn around and engage in such amateurish propaganda and claim that the Ghanaian government deserves all the credit. Now it is the Ghanaian government orders which it placed, which has now arrived now. That is problematic, and I can tell you that within corridors of diplomatic circles, it is not being well received. These are the facts. Investigations are minority. This is what is emerging. Sir, these are not orders. This is the benevolence of the Nigerians. But the agreement, we will have to replace it. We have to make sure the Nigerians get the share of what they are giving us now. These are the facts.
Yeah. More any information on the fact that we are seeing in Norway and why more data, more BBC.
Brilliant question. And also, to me, I confirm on all authority without any equivocation. Say, there is no shortage. There is absolutely no shortage of vaccines. Because I suspect the main reason into Ministry of Information and all these government propagandists or more and to me and acknowledge it publicly and admit it publicly say Nigerians and Abuaya is because of this claim in the president's message of the State of the Nation address said there's global shortage. Because Ghana for babies said and Yamunamuka said there is shortage. And if there is shortage, Afghanistan and Nigeria, they don't only have it, they even have excess. Or more de Yamuatum. In Afghanistan and Nigeria, Afghanistan and Cote d'Ivoire, the second country you have reached out to. How come they have excess? And you are talking about shortage. And I can confirm to you that there is no shortage. And indeed, that document now, Minister of Health, Bekanya or Parliament, it's a 2020 document. At the height of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, then there were it was India. The specific case is India, the Serum Institute in India. They were cutting down on their production of childhood vaccines. And the World Health Organization Director General cautioned them that is not the right thing to do. They should maintain the same supply level. But that was 2020. They listened to him, so there was no shortage. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I can tell you, sir, and this is exclusive to you.
Yes.
The World Health Organization has asked the Minister of Health of Ghana to withdraw that statement. And they have taken a strong view, say it is deliberate distortion, because the World Health Organization has not said anywhere that there is shortage of childhood vaccines. In the coming days, you will be seeing this withdrawal. If the health minister does not withdraw, if President Akufo-Addo does not withdraw and set the facts right, they affect our relation, multilateral relations with WHO and with these UN bodies generally. Wow. I can tell you first, WHO officials are not happy at all about this false claim. Ghanaian president and a Ghanaian health minister, or more, yes, there's some shortage, and they are quoting the World Health Organization document and the Director General.
Okay.
It's total fabrication.
Yeah. Honorable, you better say, but
no problem.
That's
no
very
problem.
All right. Okay. So back to the studio, and honorable, my young doctor has sent me information. Or say with the issues about the Global Alliance for Vaccines Initiative, that is the Gavi, Ghana, there is another default on the way. That is by April. Another default. And this message from that doctor friend. Also, there is no global shortage of vaccines. Let them mention one single country in the world that is experiencing vaccine shortage. No single country. It is all a lie, too much lies. The fact of the matter is that Ghana has defaulted in payment of vaccines, that is counterpart payment for vaccines, and once defaulted, cannot have access to vaccines. They should stop the comic relief, poor management, poor leadership, poor administration. The worst is yet to happen with the coming month. All right, so there's now. He's telling us the minister, as usual, lied to the president to embarrass himself, reporting to Parliament that there is global shortage. But there's no global shortage. Okay, so Honorable, back to you.
Junior, you see, let me say hello to my brother, Honorable Okujatu Ablakwa, a very fine gentleman who is doing the best as much as he can to put our democracy on a better footing. Unimbibi, in this country, there is one thing. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he is not in control. And he's not in control because if you appoint the wrong finance minister who has no clue on economy, he has no clue at all on governance. The fact that you are an investment banker, we thought that by now, after 6 years, in investment in Ghana, even with all these global crises, Ghana would have demonstrated that, look, we have an expert in investment banking, and finance minister. But he's so clueless. Niama Kwabena is the fact that you can't order again. What the car? What better there one tuaka? Time asasu. At the end, it's about to place order. The fact that they couldn't place the order is just the fact it had to battle with the fact that they couldn't pay what they ordered for in the last time. Baunim. No, if you have a president, if you have a president, yes.
Breakdown of money, sir. So far. So were they lying?
Listen, what time did they pay? At the time, Anna Okuja said they were telling them that you are running out of time. Say a simple thing. What is your last stock that is required? Critical stock now required before you place an order. Now, what is it? At what time did you hit that critical stock? Was it at the same time you placed the order? Did you pay all your bills? These are all things. But when you have a president who has no clue of what is happening in the country, and you have a finance minister who is so incompetent to the point that and you have somebody who is the vice president saying that he's the head of the economic management team. Why is that solid economic management team? Where is it? This country is in a mess because we have square pegs in round holes, and the president will continue to clear people, and that's what we call him the clearing agent. People like this. I think democracy is so interesting. We've seen the worst and we've seen the best, but this one is horrible.
We have seen the worst, we have seen the best.
But this one, Nana Akufo-Addo administration is horrible. But that is what democracy can do. Democracy allows you to see all kinds of leaders. Ghana, Obia a bomb say, President Nana Addo type of presidency there, in our democracy. We prayed never to see such a thing again. But we voted for him. Whatever he did and he became president for the second time, it is the Ghanaian people who says, please, Twaso. But to see an air can say, we will never in our life experiment with somebody again. Obiba say there's some me pamocho, mo de mon some mo membra me yan mo hwa de. Some adane so hwe kese ato Ghana so. Yan kwasa de no to biomuda. Yeah, here experience.
But on this matter, mo bet me as Simon a health minister to parliament.
Minia, even the international community say what try to almost I say vaccine shortage our international world. I heard no catch say don't bring your local politics to the international scene. Also, when I catch a shortage I didn't know what I want to mean to your time as soon as we place order. Ya catch or ya bomb man ya kai or say minia Baby okeka kono, you will run out very soon. To your kind of place order. To your kind of place order. One year, at the end of that way, you won't call your best in fan warm. And we are talking about 2 to 3 weeks' time. Listen, it's an embarrassment. But the truth of the matter is that whatever we are doing as a country, our economy is in a junk state. Our city is so useless because the finance minister ought to have left that scene long ago. But the president says that is the best finance minister under his administration. And all the over 2 million die-hard MPP supporters in this country, Honorable Ken Ofurata is their best, the best brain that the president can bet on. That is so disappointing. And that's why some of us are saying that, listen, if that is the best you have for this economy, and this is the output that we are getting as a country, we can't wait for 2024. This is a disaster. It's the worst government since 1957. Yeah, won't be crowded. Lucky enough, it's in a democracy. Oh, please go to IMF now. Yes, I hope you. Opposition NDC in Parliament, go to IMF now. They are not going to IMF today. They are not going to IMF tomorrow. They went to IMF finally in an ambulance. Prescription money, it was just automated. That is the mess into we found ourselves as a country. We're angry enough. This level of incompetence. If democracy is promoting this level of incompetence, we need to sit up and look at it again. But that is the only type of governance that can propel our country. So people have all kinds of ideas, and in democracy you can tap into them. Why are you stubbornly refusing to tap into people who have better brains than Honorable Ken Ofurata? Why? Ghana nyawodia. Adena gu poto. Yentimintuya and idea we deal we buy. It's not about finance minister. It's not about the minister for health. It's not about anything. It's about the fact that the economy is crashing. You are downgrading and it's in a junk state. Yentimin yeskan kotuya we. Bisiakra ya bokra yentimintuya. No aya kotokra yentimintuya. Or time as to say in place order, but a kada than I wouldn't in 1 2 year in place order. And this kind of disgraceful governance. Disgraceful governance. Because I say, no, me parliament. I was in parliament. President Kufo was sitting right behind me. President John Dramani Mahama was sitting right behind me. President Nana say, on a quiet all year, you know, from independence to the whole of the Fourth Republic, from 1992 up to date. Obinya bida. And I'm trying to share President Kufo, I'm share President Mama, no, and Obia Sinitrust no Osre. What kind of life is this? You have wrote more than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Simple question, Ebisa said, na quite no why. Ebi okrum. But Oko Chebi there, I think that he's always deceived with what he sees in Chebi. And sometimes, you know, in leadership, you're trying your mama and say, oh, find a way to cross-check. Find a way to evaluate. Find a way to convince yourself that me kwa kai ade we ya abontin so be ka say me na me see o yan ka say ye chro ma me but there be obeka what you say is different from what is on the ground and you are gradually losing it. That integrity that Flagstaff House, the Golden Jubilee House houses as president, that integrity is getting lost in the country. Sometimes we speak so nicely like because we don't want to attack the integrity of the presidency. Ochina ebi ameno ayeti we obetima kwatena ho but so be ade na enya de na emboa Ghana yan kind of forcefully with all our might to tell the president that you've not bought us. If you are a mess and you are a disgrace, we'll tell you in the face. This legacy you are leaving behind, children will read and laugh at you.
Live on Accra 100.5 Citizen Show Monday afternoon, and I mean, Madam BTO or sending me a message, Bobie, we are in a sorry state.
That is the sentence. That is the right phrase. Ghana is in a sorry state. Unfortunately, that is the fact. Take it or leave it as sacred.
All right, so straight, yeah, Bebra Ashiaman Kwakwa Juma, and I don't know what you want to call it, Bebre, I. Common vaccines. Then you are Osha President Kufu and Mshe Mahama and him. These two gentlemen.
They were sitting right there.
It never happened during their time.
No.
And you are telling them your government It's far better
in all sectors. And the picture that is being painted is that for the Fourth Republic, that this is the best administration ever. Sometimes I say, hey, we represent the people. And the people are looking up to us. Say, young Kasa, but President Nadu abide there. A Colabia Cranim. Near me, they say MPP for Nankasamun say, wait there, enjoy ye. Because I'm ready to say, Alan Kujuman, honorable, or say, campaign I didn't. Udu Baby only Nobeka. I buy 4 ways soon original survey campaign. I remember they talked about his vision. Said he's going to build the superstructure on the solid foundation laid by President Nadu. And I said, then you don't have a vision. You don't have a vision because the foundation doesn't exist. So that your superstructure will be hanging in the air. We're in trouble.
Musa Abatwa.
2024, Empire na everybody say Ghana for should not sit and keep quiet. We are quiet for too long. We are not angry enough. If it is wrong, let's tell the president this is wrong. Yes, I will do 2024.
No, but
you will not be able to make it up.
The point is, we keep on talking, but it seems like because we are not angry enough. Okay, so with your experience, what do you expect from Ghanaians?
Listen, when you look at what used to happen in 2015, 2016, even Pike can grow for ball at Black Star Square, Independence Square, Uti Empire, Utimis and Yamekasa. Sudden empire in a political empire. Says, I know now. Say, women are glue. What your munkabium? What your munkabium? There were several groups, civil society organizations, all rising up talking about corruption and doing something idea. And they'll be now. If we say, I will say it today and I'll say it tomorrow. Say, Ansah for a more. This level of hypocrisy in democracy do not promote development. They say to your young girl to your President John Dramani Mahama, they always say incompetent. And Papa na catch them say, me, my free abai mu. Near me can say, posterity will judge me, and posterity will hold all of us responsible. Or that's what you say. Nungwa senkwa, what don't say can at Hawaii. Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, however, the best economic brain Ghana has ever produced. Where is the city? Where is the fuel price? Where is inflation? Where are the fundamentals? Is it when the fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. Exchange rate exposing you will so no, that is not a factual condition. You need to understand economics. Listen, the economics my mother understands in Makola market. The economics my mother understands in Wa market. The economics he understands in Tumu is the fact that Okoton are there yeto. Or Buffy on your school fees. Or to the school fees or to me that is the economics he's talking about. Now the papers now would do and can as I say, I'll come back to me into idea. Says out to come usu. Fuel say 13 point something. Yes, see, I'm boy and some mom. Or by another thing. Why Jadena Manako bay 20 something? Or the bar, I go do 9 crown ye. Fuel a drop here could do 7 Ghana cedis a liter crown ye. Your 1 gallon. President John Dramani Mahama's 1 gallon is your 1 liter. And you say we should be clapping for you. You are the economic messiah. So see, an economic or digitalization. It's quite interesting. Young
Koyanim, Nana Ashiaman has sent me a message. Nana Ashiaman, I don't know. And then the first time I met my page, I say, okay, so Daboya says Ghana has become a crime scene. Moses Tobo says Bobie simply a kufad mama bear case amaye. Nana Ashiaman says honestly Ghanaians deserve someone worse more than a Akufo-Addo for their ungrateful behavior towards President Mahama. Democracy says MPP is the best in distraction. Alex Tetes is more fire, and Alex Tetes send a message away from Kumasi Patase. Maminche Kumasi Patase for that created the show in Beba Kumasi. Anak Felix says you are complaining. Wait till Akufo-Addo is done with Ghana 2024. No serious country will still have Akufo-Addo as president. You understand after 2024. Question to Boss Siakon says Kwabena Women Are Glow theme for the upcoming program is let's go back to our first love.
Me read that day somewhere. Na fufra ba de maninjo okra.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In go to you send a prophecy.
Yeah.
Come shepherd.
Come shepherd.
Me read that day somewhere me.
Fufra ba ye ya no jojo mi o.
Hey, Ghana won dimension.
My God.
Yeah, you know that the Ghana won dimension.
I swear.
Oh my goodness.
See, let's go back to our first level.
Yes.
Okay, so Richard Acker says, I remember when JM was president and gave out a State of the Nation address. You see, Peace FM, Aduma FM, they will be do cross checks and what, and fact findings. This time they don't do it again. Thelma Eddie Quarter says, Ghanaian journalists, please get up and talk about these issues. The child without the vaccine could be the next president. Yes, of course. Yes. David Apomau says, will you please tell him his friend, Mr. Felix Koku, Mausi says hi.
Okay.
Okay, all right, yes. So you have a friend here.
Yeah.
Okay, so straight to Ashiaman.
Right.
There are issues coming out from Ashiaman. And you go through the police report first. Yes, you have police report into now main fire and then you can pick from a year because it's on the 3rd, on the 4th, how much, and from there no issues are. So I think for many honorable Tobo and I was saying a year superintendent retired Tobo MP for Wa West constituency, Upper West region, and member of Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament. Okay, so someone share a year police reports maybe from Ashiaman issues now. This is the reports on the 12th of March 2023. That was yesterday. Okay, and you be go through quick a press release. Ghana Police Service statement on the murder of a soldier, Imoro Sheriff. Point 1. The Ghana Police Service, after a week of sustained intelligence-led operation, has arrested 6 persons at different dates and various locations within Ashiaman and its environs for their suspected involvement in the murder of Imoro Sheriff, a soldier. Point 2, on 4th March 2023, police received information that a male adult had been found lying dead at Ashiaman Taifa in the Greater Accra region. That point 3, a team of police officers proceeded to the said location and confirmed the incident. Point 4, police immediately commenced investigations into the circumstances surrounding the death of the victim. The officers cordoned off the scene and called in the specialist police crime scene team to process the scene for forensic analysis. The crime scene team retrieved a number of items, including a knife with blood stains on it and a backpack. In the backpack, police found 1 Samsung tablet, 1 Apple laptop, 1 military uniform with the name tag Imoro, 8 other items of clothing, as well as a Ghana card and health insurance card bearing the name Imoro Sheriff. Now, judging from the contents of the backpack, the police suspected the victim could be a soldier, and in line with police standard operating procedure for handling institution-based victims, the military was accordingly notified of the incident, and some military personnel came to identify the deceased to police as Imoro Sheriff, a soldier. The body of the deceased was thereafter conveyed to a hospital for preservation and autopsy. As part of the investigation, an intelligence operation was immediately launched within Ashiaman and other strategic locations of interest to follow up on all relevant leads on the case. On the same day, consistent with Ghanaian tradition and as part of the investigation, so it goes on and on and on and on and on. But baby, those dates, then what we heard on last week Tuesday is that the military now attacked and Ashiaman, Lebanon, down to Tulaku and other places. Almost over 100 people were arrested. Omujaibi, later 35, then for whatever reason, here we are today. Military versus civilians.
That's say and you pe kwan we so na yasu ade kakra. And I try to share some experiences na nkrofo nsu ade bebree. 1992 na Ghana decided say ye beye mra pon baako a ebema that is the blueprint for Ghana's progress in life. The 1992 constitution. Ohwe constitution ma bibia ye very clear say the way ye shisha niam no fundamental human rights must be respected by all institutions. And the mandate of every institution is clearly defined. The integration of institutional mandates are clearly shaped to ensure that Ghana betuma tumponye. Oko Article 203. You see, there shall be a police service. We call it the Ghana Police Service, mandated to maintain law and order, protect life and property, investigate crime, detect crime, prevent crime. Oko Article 210. It is clearly defined in there. Say, the Ghana Armed Forces, mandated to defend Ghana. I friend national defense. Any other job that will be assigned them by the president or mayor. So these are the clear defined terms for police and army.
Any other job
the president will assign them, because the president, according to the constitution, only the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. So the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces says some national disasters here. Flood ke Sibia but sene ya yehunu. And anyame pengu earthquake biasi. Na presidency ba bia de na kodrunde. So ja form mfa mhumbejim. They will come in because that is defending the sovereignty of the country. And I say obi afri ba bia be attack Ghana. Right? You hear presidential assent to be able to move the army into war. Say ombe aji Ghana to. And that is why soldier for Bekachiro say we will defend this country even at the peril of our lives in the air, on the land, and even the sea. So about defending Ghana, a soldier is prepared to die for Mother Ghana. But about internal security, about the crime environment, the masters are the police. Anything I compare the training curriculum, near yet did obibe fam say obe training be pia ye soldier no, and yet eno and the police ni fam. The training are very different. And after 1 year, you think soldier, another person think police. Because the training shapes you. What you go through is that they break you down into pieces and reassemble you to match the purpose for what you have been trained.
Mold you back.
They will mold you back into a different human being altogether. So when they mold the policeman back, within the first they will come out now. When you see crime, you know this is crime. And you have to act now. And when you see something that will affect national defense, you know that this one will require you to act. And they train them for combat. What happened in Ashiaman? I have told many people, blame soldier for na you don't know what is called command and control. Soldier for na Ashiaman, yomoko ye nana, Meshia obi ameshekino. Job well done. Even though bad and not appreciated by the Ghanaian people. It was an operation sanctioned by the military high command.
Yes.
Ma IGP Dr. George Akufo-Addo Paris is here. No on Fred Upper West Regional Commander. No on direct to say I want you to do combat. Look, conduct a soup in this particular area. Obia cheno. Omokwa regional commander na in charge. But the order came from above. In Kwalana Edeko Gumsa Omunyajumano, they will do the work according to command. So in Kwalana Edeko Gu Ashiaman, they were doing the work according to command. And it was very clear, say, issue statement, say, it is an official operation sanctioned by the military high command. Now, we are soldier, now the soldier for say 50 plus armor cars, helicopter near the area. Say, operational. What do you expect? Me patch soldier for no, not soldier for near Ashiaman home. They were not combatants in Ashiaman. Obiani Ashiaman ha no okite tu and I say armor car bia odi face soldier for. The military went into a civilian area to conduct a soup. They hadn't gone in there to meet combatants. And in military society, they will tell you, say, civilian, they are all continue to hide. And that is why they will tell many people who were at the scene will tell you, oh, omo boy in two dear, but I'm watching or show, omo de omo sam with the two, yeah, the two bet my boy, you bet my the sam boy, but yeah, two boy. Because it is not right for you to shoot. But why were they subjected to that punishment? And the statement answered that. Obia, Ebia, Okumomuniano. Any a criminal investigation. So the soldiers were venturing into uncharted waters, which they cannot survive. A soldier cannot investigate a crime. Simplicity. A soldier comes into the internal security environment to provide support for the police. So instead of supporting, so what decided say me ankasa me ya madie because me ba na wu mu a ochina me no ayeti yi. Nyame mpengu obi kokum ma me you want to take the law into your own hands and go and investigate that matter yourself. Now, Ebiana fire service. Na obi akumobi. Na fire service supposed to be sorry. You can investigate it because you can't be killing fire service people like that. Immigration back, immigration first, sorry, you will only get chaos in the country. That is why the constitution structured organizations and institutions in such a way say, Obia wanejuma oye. I think that we don't have to belabor the point. The defense minister Bekai, but for now can't but no more do. It was regrettable. And I may say that language good, it was regrettable, but it was predictably regrettable. What do I say? Who deploy soldier into a civilian environment, you expect excesses. So nobody should say it's regrettable because now where the afomia dabi just afomia
what do you call winning at the crazy
unim nebesi ada yasi Burkina Faso na ba na attack Ghana na and I see talk of ura Ghana for na yasi obi akum obi and mo akọ say mo ko deal with Ghana for the people's taxes that clothe you to serve them and provide protection for them. So that was not a service. That was not defending anything. That was just mere recklessness. And kaya. But not me no na me say omuni police for na call you say that and I'm say soldier phone kwa on a soup. Okay, and I was expecting say omuchi nipa ni na 184 no right from the operation ground straight in Kamodi omoko see the headquarters akwa hand over police will take over screen them omodi omoko gu honom ni omeye bia yenim as I speak I don't believe and I can speak on authority I don't believe say ya hand over nipa ba akokora ma police
no go say jai omu
nyina one day when somebody takes them to court you arrest me and keep me for 24 hours. You arrest me and keep me for 24 hours without a single charge. You screen me and release me without a single charge. Or China, maybe so say Bonebe na maye. And that level of recklessness, we should look at it. Whatever it is, say police was start a juma. Ni na ye bon pa ni say nipa 184 ya omochi omo. Bi ana at least police for benye bebere afri but 184 in so yan fan koma a police for no. Police had through intelligence led operation arrested people outside the 184 without noise, without bravado, without assaulting anybody.
So which means combat me afa omo could there wa bro bia ante.
Oh no, in combat me so amosa ni nyina no mo de akogu see the headquarters no mo yomo.
Then they start screen them. But probably the police will tell you, Abia, sub na kwayen. The targeted place is not where we are going. So that is why they need to collaborate. A police for a soldier for somebody of my dream bomb. Now, Omon Kase, this crime scene, if you are doing intelligence-led operation, you must end up at targeting. What do I say? Intelligence-led, say, ebe narrow kopimba bi omu say we there, ya heti ha, bibi from waba. So it leads you to targeting. And a target is in bar. Please let the police be in the lead and give them backing. Because police no kwachia. There is a reason why. Or maybe say be question even on the spot. Now I catch yourself. Tumirika fahako. You better match nipa 184 years soldier for kwachi omwe. Say police can no mokoya. Maybe at the end of the day you find that they will get only about 10 or 15 people and bring them to screen them. Because we also be Timoto so chum. Only that papa or come market. Until one or two questions will tell you that no, there's no need to waste this man's time. So watching for what? But we are in a democracy. 30 years down the line with the Fourth Republic, what we are saying is that our democracy should be developing. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel retired, Festus Abuaji, and now can say, or see politicians are misapplying the armed forces and the integrity of the armed forces is dropping. The respect that people have for the Ghana army. You know, United. Okay, so sorry, sir. I'm saying now we have acting CDS. That is Real Admiral Amwama.
Yes.
Funny picture to Amame. Then IGP?
No.
the other gentleman, the chief of defense staff.
The chief of defense staff is Mama.
That the CDS.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the chief of defense staff. Amwama.
Yes.
And upon Pepra.
That is for the army.
That is for the army.
Yes.
Okay, so check upon Pepra for me. And I think that these two gentlemen, and some kakra so muyano, even one raising questions say they should be sacked.
Listen, the president is the commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, and an operation that is sanctioned by the military high command. And the next day, the president was in office he was in parliament to present the State of the Nation address. He found no reason to just have one line acknowledging what happened in Ashiaman, and probably making a statement to calm the nerves of the people of Ashiaman and the people of Ghana who had to watch that bizarre scenario. He never had the respect to even make one mention of one word. It tells you when they say it was sanctioned by military high command, and the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency the President, is very aware, and he makes no mention. What it means is that tacitly, the President endorses it, or he had endorsed it, and there's no regret. So I was surprised at the end of the day they were saying that it was regrettable. If it's regrettable, that is fine. What is next? Was that the first time? Can we think about Techiman Saf? Can we think about Ejura? Can we think about Ayawaso West Wagon? All regrettable. If they were all regrettable, fine. What are the lessons learned? Anytime you regret in an action, you learn something from it, never to repeat it. Are we learning as a nation? Is there any way we are learning to better our democracy?
Almost said that.
Oh, yes. Because, Minia, this is the first time I see. A tasi. Say, a si bakuno, oh, where there a famine some. Mr. Monfanche. Additional CBMA. Okay,
so
I am sorry.
So this is a Pepra, chief of army staff.
Yes.
And Amwama, and also an acting CDS.
Yes.
And these are the two gentlemen. Ebinma Rezi said that they should sack them. There
is a statement. There is a statement pending in the hands of the Speaker of Parliament by the MP for Ashiaman, Honorable Nogwe. Says that statement, he will make that statement decently and forcefully, and some of us will contribute very powerfully to that statement.
Okay.
And what he's saying is that Parliament establish and I am constitute a committee of inquiry into the matter.
Okay, so Tachima incident, Minyasho says he upon Pepra a time, right?
No, at that time he was not the chief of army staff.
Okay,
no.
Right?
That was during the elections.
During the elections, yes. And after the elections in Obinya,
yes, he promoting
called chief of army staff,
yes.
And the other gentleman. But the question will be so ascending say, so after MPP government, can they still be punished?
Listen, people should not mistakenly think about Opon Pepra and the chief of defense staff in their persons. We are looking at the Ghana Armed Forces as an institution, right? That institutional behavior is one to look at. If the institutional behavior is something we need to correct, correct it.
No, but
because the fact is,
yes. In every organization, yes, there is a command chain.
Yes.
And Kolana Kohono. Say no, oh Mayati say, Yenny a buffon from Kolano. So
cry.
Aha. So somebody sitting somewhere must be punished. And that is the only way they are corrected our institutional damages now.
Minia.
And it's a watching will be a chief of defense staff. Now share how longer while serving Ghana. Nanke so retire in a glory manner. Na sabi wo oni ye bintino wanya ko yankɔ retire ni asake se sa record ne beto ho a obi baba ye chief of defense staff a obehunu se eyankrofo tax ne ma me yire ene me ma yedidi intimation me hu yi
onim when appointed the commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces appointed the chief of defense staff, appointed the chief of army staff. What do I say? And the commander in chief is there and they say this is an operation sanctioned by the military high command, those we appointed. And the president found no reason to comment on it. Who is going to sack who? The only time you can have decency, the only time you can have an opportunity to say, because young professionals in the army, it shouldn't be under these people. it has to be under a new president, because there is something we call civilian oversight. That civilian oversight, and I'm not president, yet the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, but he's a civilian. And because a civilian misapplication of the Ghana Army. Civilians now, we are politicians, no, they are misdirecting the army to disgrace themselves. So if you don't like it, please kick out the civilian government. If you don't like it, kick out President Nana Akufo-Addo government. If you don't like it, come 2024. Tell him that you've been a disgrace as a commander-in-chief. You've been a disgrace. And for that matter, that party, the MPP, should go into opposition for a very long time. And let's take our time to rebuild our institutions. Call them police, call them army, call them whatever. We need to rebuild our institutions, because strong institutions make a better democracy.
Strong institutions make a better democracy. Live on Accra 100.5, and that is Honorable Superintendent Retired Peter Torbo, MP for Wa West Constituency, Upper West Region, a member of the Defense and Interior Committee, and so sad. And this is the first time I'm in Nenya one-on-one. This is the first time. Meaning, sir, I don't want to be in Kabibri, Miss Martin in Kabibri, and this is the first time.
So I have to run.
Yes, it's so sad. But I know, sir, Citizen Show, and that is the name, Citizen Show, Citizens there. It will end here. We'll have more time and meet oftenly here to discuss issues I bother on civilians and national matters. Thank you so much, sir. Yeton Safreo, Wababe join here.
Security sector of Ghana will be reformed.
Sure.
Because without security, we can't have development.
Inshallah.
Nyame Shrain.
Nyame ensiro bibi ati enka ewo Accra FM so let me do this Adangma.
The country where I come from, the truth is unharmony. Just like I'm.
That's right.
Justice me.
A good run.
So
who could say the truth? Adangma I go. Why yes I pam no.
Christian cancer.
Aqua de casa.
Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Tradition silence.
Who could say the truth?
Truth for justice. We are the workers of comfort call. Now by area why no better. We are the workers of comfort call. One guy's out here why no better. Who could say the truth?
Production crew. And that's Kwame Kwache, Fit one day calling. And that's Aquaria, the party pande, people pop salad. Eugene Bynes here, thank you. Say fast. Boss Yoda.
Only papi obeka na sembia. So I everybody was afraid.
Okay, so you make a coding come on.
Once my boy dumping one another. But who go tell the truth? Nanai, or say me. Nanso bien person they can want some because everybody is afraid. I am safwe muaini. Who could draw for you na danima? And see who go say the truth? Truth for justice. Obiaja konson so to grow Germansa to me be a cacobrafo.
Me wo me nua bia me hu na chepa. Ni sha ya chepa.
Na so ko treta down na so. For why no keke.
Nyame ya aduma yeso yabadi ampilibi.
Pia for ne cross on my mo.
Ya okwa na me kura ne bag.
Aku draw for you na dalema.
But team no so na say almost team ni nyina for ya MP so. Okay, so Ablakwa Otukono Agbenyo Bature, Baby Ansah, Kobe Fiagbe, and Sami Kabo Kabila, last man standing, and Felix, Dr. Manubuama, no about a film barco, and why crying a gentleman? Why a gentleman? Why? Near Baba, Hanabisu, Hanabisu, Anita de Soso, only man or Moka or hey. I want for Bomache, I want for Bomache. Minia Aquaba, Mr. One for Ferguson and come with Baby.
Hey, that's Ferguson.
One for Ferguson and come. What's the one?
Ferguson.
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 I'm not in chain.
One
control your man.
One Ayana or Ona, or watch now or engineer near. Anyway,
I make a power. We are not near.
Come out, Bosso. Bibi aboko de
komra nyame dom
constituency boko
nyame dom bibi aboko
nyame ase
ye go so ayepia
ami
hwe na nyame be
ami bibi abe fine
me da so
na mama me constituency we nyina secretary e wo ha sei na onima da o ka kire me say sa na me de minim say kwadwo egbo constituency ne friend say
Westwood
na minim say e ho ne so and am say no na ye elite constituency say dey but when you have a constituency like Laboni cantonment ekfa Palace Mall efa
chain
homes hey David o say anyone na elite no ewo
no mu wiam
na wan wiam wan
say o mo ton nyina ewo
na wan wiam wan
na he no mo ton zaze
secretary Mfino
where do they sell the lands in Ghana? Na mo kubu wi ha no mo ton wi ha no mo ton bia ha no mo bia
ha na wi for you now
Bobie manager say e betimi abisa no question so
yes
na one na be bisa
o go ton wi no
ha na wi for you now
no if you are left right center
what try your words
that's your program
but if he doesn't know, why is he protecting them?
I'll protect them.
Obi diwachi.
David.
Police diwachi.
David.
That is it.
Microphone that.
And protect you.
Charlotte.
Now when you come for soldier diwachi.
More letter comes my.
And obusa so nya kromfo soldier diwachi.
Na jimensa on amase soldier that you kromfo.
Don't know opinion.
Say jimensa dey be on na. If you crowd for the fear ni ma. Police for other kromfo.
First and over aye no police.
Enter your kromfo.
Question.
Must be beside your kromfo.
And must be beside wasem.
Because they be able to soldier for.
Beside we say wo ba no police diwachi.
What's there be?
Militia diwachi.
Because me your kromfo.
And you who say soldier do obi achi o kromfo.
Na waka asem no that we have beside message. Waka di na we have beside me. Maybe beside wasem. And I was the one your kromfo. Now when your kromfo.
And I was say,
me who no be a police in the church of
Jimensa. E can no aye no. Me tan no pa no kwane na. O drive ko no na na de o na bia na soja for nechi. Anye bia o your kromfo.
Me fa finya wo ka no mu a. So so baro nya kromfo to be anyway.
It be a direct question.
Who be someone direct question?
There be o nya ne ye. Wono na e ka say.
Jimensa now.
Me boje meza di
police for no bisa wasa
me bisa ne si ono friend dey back studio
ha so confirm na ya so police for e guard omo me bo a and I bisa say soldier for ni police am guard ye ma me je mensa o ye confirm na
me ma kama sem
and no say dey we yi ka no odo a won fa de sa
me kama sem na wo ka wo dia wa
Papa bi na
ogo wi apoti wo ka wo dia wo
ogo wi apoti di be fi e no dey apoti ni ma de ba so for tombra akwa ndi apoti di pia na ogo di ko sign po bi ho na ko bobo oba no bia be wi apoti di ko go do fi na ho so ba ne papa nchen na ba se na de no o se kwa on fire dey o for so dey buy
o to ye no
fast akwa so
obi so be to sa obi so be to okay me kwa ba ne baba be adwuma kakra bi ansa na mpani for sorry I'll be back.
CD capsules. My body say.
What body empress?
CD ointment. CD ointment. CD ointment. And also
what brand CD empress?
Mo say what pay immune booster pa. Said you need pakwano baye wa adwuma said yes sir. Simple. Copper CD capsules. Enyaruwa mo bo rough. Ye nim so anante ana wa adwuma kakra bi no abra ye so week bia.
Enye me how pa no.
Enye what CD capsules nkan. Wo ya so mde copper bia. Wo house wo twa.
Na CD ointment.
Eye dwo tatahwe ada obenya ho no. Ko CD Herbal Center ya. Wo ye CD ointment ni CD capsules no. E wo la bi Sharom Sport. Ya e Benny 19 Johnson. Na ko tie se general body pains. Nya no ko todwe eye no ya. Na e ko na poso honam ya. CD ointment. Enti few days shrim e ko ya wonum di CD capsules. Shrim e ko wonum CD capsules no. Na wo di CD ointment so e massage.
Na menya ni nyina bi wo he.
Pharmacies, chemical and herbal shops. Dudwa from 050-5767-425 and 0209-682836. A pay for a battle one more money for them kwada when you feel you nunca. FD, I shall say a dreading crowd to my jatum say.
Na de na ofre djuma ba ya se waye bosanse e di asemwa
bi ne hwe ma fo kwa na ekwo wo mo animu bosia kra mi pedi am ye di abobra so a menya bi
NSR Eclipse Collateral Management for Abamaye waye prime brokerage service na no se de etie nie so we japade na wo ho nkrata wotumi de nkrata ne beja Eclipse Collateral Management na so bi so we japade ebia na ne nkrata no animu ano na ope bosia ye de wo nkrata ne yensi achi ba manipa no bosia etua ehon fa so ma wo ankrata ne ye wo de ni di free
ne se woni akra ntie
emane how kra esan se wono so wo ajapade a wo de ba yenti no enno na bank de beton wabra won kwo wo de ne ho kra
na kire sa men krata da dem no ebetumi ama menya sika wabra ma ajapade no ehon nka
sapepepe wo be hu Eclipse Collateral Management e wa Denta Pantai Junction at Denta new site wa 0543832466. Eclipse Collateral Management. Think safety and decent income.
Say the Mako Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Me who crave you make say and no mania award. A world best. Obian Transit Emma Dumpemia, dear Cassa, and as a boy, dear and cannon to them you.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. A son you want to say near Crow Etuno, near Anchor Ewanum, Obana Bemo Power, and Yarwanka.
Nancy Mamika say, and the Spana called Moekayano. Greenfield at Arumanti and was also the and also APM.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultramodern laboratory. And a diagnostic machine, sir. I should the baby one casa. Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. I want to go Estate Junction. Last stop. From 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe.
Unim say onipa bia kan kro ene ne ba aya na ejine sisi so nanso ekoba say sisi ne ho kotechima ene na asempa ene dia bon eno ti ena make for tabia herbal capsules e dia mawo say yesisi yade pa ana age onipa bia na boso dia bomodia ne num tabia herbal capsules na aboyi di usisi mama mai na wanya sisi etimi abaduma pa say ya ayemtim ana age yefunu ya boso ama wuntimi nya wo ho hia bomodia ne num tabia herbal capsules na etimi yi ni efi afini pedienim ama wo yefunu ada ho tabia herbal capsules ebuso e wo pharmacy shops any herbal shops e wo wiase afa na nyina ana afre ahomatrufo yi 0243686861 kai se wo ma akranufo wo your pinfo ana wo di infedu wo twe a wo num bi tabia herbal capsules wo sunum
Give us pay capsules. A memory. Manum bia ye benamua. Kani metutu ya na minkuma bua. Sese die. Metu esa kum menia G. Give us pay capsules.
Give it to me, baby.
Give us core capsules so eh.
E man meme nyina akoko yade. Sisi yade amamanya yem timotete wo mo no. Yedru no no. Manum bi amama de me ho.
Give us core capsules. Mrs. Moye din. Give us core capsules.
I give it to you, baby. You give it to me.
Yeah.
Hey. Give us no. A man need ya bebusiamu papa. Na bema ka give us P capsules. And ni give us core capsules bomunum dia. Na eni jeni ahode no.
Wa brudo.
Give us P capsules.
And remember what if you don't watch the Cronkwan ever.
Give us core capsules.
I pay for a batter one more menu for one and Kwadawan if you do me nunca home. I will dress to beer and to phone call. Give us Herbal Center, Teshi Mobile, and a Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FD Ashusha Sa Ejedi and Kratoimu Adia to Musa Eye.
All right, so yeah, say baby, but for now, quick one straight. Young go to here, but some more tapes we then other comments via a can be ano but before that, no, Fred, this Ashiaman issue, just a minute on it. I mean, Professor from Pombo in Canada, Japan, and Sambia or more revelations you are making. But on Ashiaman, quick one.
Come on, that's it. I'm Shafi. This is the first time I'm here in a radio station. The whole of
really.
When I met you in Canada,
that's it.
And that's it for the name of the Ansah. So, camera, Nancy was Chairman. Now, me name also, you will see something. You can Ghana announce me also there. So, we are a republic within Ghana.
Yeah, some
because they are no any representing issue. And to be sure, I am not maintaining a course on crime break. But, we do ya, Emia. Share the security, or maybe anywhere, a bit me, I ye yakwenim. Without the security services. They be a mechanic. Some police focus on call demonstration and strike for just 30 minutes. Maybe see my way in your face. And to join on my no. A some boy you can see everything at all times. No, you be encourage your mom. Abu management my queen. A soldier forward obey you ma omoye. Eddie bon my. Say be 7 minutes here. Na you be a call around. The sub-region, where in Burkina Faso say, and Cote d'Ivoire say, and Nigeria say, and Togo say, na a being see or Ghana. A Chinese and Crophobia homoye, Juma being Tina. Sajamani binu ain't me and Drew Ghana, ma'am. And see, yent me fast soldier for any effort to give him. Yent me and Kasa any form of course, Omoye Juma de Buena. That will be Nikos was Ashiaman and Senfata. Now, I would have told by now. The Commander-in-Chief of Ghana Armed Forces, who is the President, who has the responsibility to protect all lives and property in a republic, and who is the Commander of the military, but not outspoken. Camera, I can say without any fear of favor or any contradiction, say Operation Kosovo Ashiaman. It was sanctioned from very high level, both in government and the military hierarchy. Share the equipment no movie the Ashiaman. There's no way other ranks can get up on their own and do that without a senior person at the very top commanding and instructing. Say, I think say it was not appropriate. Now, there is something that is happening in our country, so I have to say this. We need to pay attention to.
Okay.
Adi Abana say Bulovans here, Musus can pick up, say, Yedis is a key. I some mind say, a police for ain't me born by Bium. And say, ne, a soldier for people say, you want a man, you know. That is not the mandate of the military. The military are not supposed to interface with the civilians the way we are reducing them to. Now, they may thank me before ne. So to me, who a whole Ghana military man out the uniform. No Kwabesia handbag. No Kwabesia handbag.
Yes, if you war. Yes,
no one for what is wrong with us? How can we reduce our military? The might of the nation to that level. And so the mutual respect and the fear that the civilian society is supposed to have is fading away by the day. As a result of the way you deploy the military. The military are supposed to be in the barracks and be in the bushes. Preparing for, you see, governance in a democracy is the police that are in charge of the country. The day-to-day running of the country. We cannot say by any stretch of imagination, say our Ghana police service is not capable and not necessarily have to bring in the military. And whoever is superintending and supervising that recklessness, where the military now are becoming boys following people all over around town, please, it must stop. It's an eyesore. It's unacceptable. Ashiaman, it's not fair. Any one of us could have become a victim to happen in Ashiaman.
Uko tu tomo say anymore.
Yeah, to tomo anymore.
We do afra.
You do afra ya brimo kwa. Obikwa on the fear now you enter you jumping fence one according to it's unacceptable. I've had the opportunity of reading report now police for the Betra Bonte. Very, very comprehensive. A Juma Maye. So clearly this was an armed robbery attack. And yes, sir, civilians been taking the law into their own hands.
No.
I please the soldier ni ayakayaka die. These are armed robbers. And so why do you jump on innocent citizens? And the commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces, either he's sleeping, or he's refusing to hear, or he can no longer speak. People who cannot hear or cannot speak normally are found in the mortuary. Our president is not at the mortuary. Is he? No. Your best friend, the image our Ghana Armed Forces had over the years, especially in the Fourth Republic, we need to protect that image. This thing is becoming one too many. It's becoming one too, not too long. I think it was in Wa,
yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Just a mobile phone.
Yeah, mobile phone.
A mobile phone in Wa, we all saw what happened. It's unacceptable. No. That is not what we bargained for. You see, Kamami can be a memo. After the referendum, that was the decision that all of us arrived at. And all of us must be seen to respect that decision. The military leadership can do better. Yes, I agree. What would have been wrong? Say a police for Kwekakra. Some call your investigation like they've done now. And then allow the law to take its own course. And I am suggesting to them, if they don't want the civilians to be doing this to them, withdraw your men from town and keep them at the barracks. We don't need a military men to be following people around town in uniform. We don't need them to be holding ladies' bags. That is not their job. It's nonsensical. Why? I sympathize with the families and the victims of persons, innocent citizens, who have been brutalized, punished, just like that. It's unacceptable. And I was thinking that by now, through the Ministry of Defense, the military hierarchy should have issued a statement apologizing to these people and apologizing to the whole country. We have a responsibility to respect them and to aid them in their job. We didn't use the taxpayers' money to go and train them to come and treat us the way they are treating us. No, we will not accept it. We will not accept it. As a society, we will not accept it. And it is important for everybody to know, say, there is no military might anywhere in the world that can stand and determine people. We procure the guns they use with our sweat. We procure the vehicles they use with their sweat. Everything, we procure it. That use it to protect us. And protect your families and members too, who are not military men. We didn't give those things to you for operations of this nature. We didn't set up the military for them to be running around town, holding ladies' bags and doing this kind of thing you are seeing in recent time. It must stop immediately.
Guru.
Okay. Ashiaman asem no de embarrassing. You say a soldier for when him say military mu a whole unit purposely for intelligence.
Yeah.
And they are highly equipped, seriously minded people. Some person say they didn't have the men or the personnel to go in the on intelligent level to fish out whoever killed the young man. Statement no modi buy no. When them say subsequent, they pulled it from their social media handles.
From the Ghana Armed Force.
Yes, they pulled it down.
Why? They
only corrected the date.
Oh, okay. Okay, but the content still intact.
There's a date.
It was the most useless of statements ever issued. Because they didn't apply intelligence. They be a police former bar, your bomb we scold them for me. It took their time and they arrested the culprits. Let me say, all those men and women are soldier for innocent people. We in a serious society. Mami use the word in a civilized society, no. Some lawyers should be taken on the military.
Yes, and I think
for human rights abuse.
Oliver Vomawa is working on it.
It's a clear abuse of, because their statement said it was an intelligence, and it has come out clearly that they did not arrest anybody connected to the crime. So it means the intelligence failed. If they applied intelligence, so our military men failed with their intelligence. So are we safe? I just say terrorists now money nam Boku border Burkina. Omuya ready, they will just swoop in on us. They beat people. Omu pra man for Katamanso MP no.
Yeah.
I say ne constituents ne be ya mamu enum cow.
Yeah.
That's clear human rights abuse. And you see, when you see it affects our ratings, global rating in terms of human rights.
But he doesn't care.
So human rights.
Yeah, he doesn't care about
when you're human rights, a birthright lawyer. The birthrights, no. Because what the military guys did was unprofessional, was barbaric. Entered people's homes, and people are traumatized. People must go through counseling. Statements are funny. The intelligence. The intelligence proved that you did not arrest anybody connected to the crime, which clearly shows that your intelligence failed.
Yeah.
So somebody must be questioned. But you see, Bobie, let me be a something happened, and until we get to the bottom of that matter and deal with it, these things will happen. What happened? On the 7th of January, Asojafo took up parliament.
Yes.
Attempting to attack
the
government. It's a government. That's a government.
Overthrown the legislature.
Nobody has answered that question. If we don't get to the bottom of that matter, who deployed that? Oh, baby, so people are misbehaving in this country. We must bring discipline. Was this how Rawlings was disciplining us?
And even with that, they were complaining.
Under Rawlings, yes, there was discipline, but not this.
Even with that, they complaining. They were complaining. Upon the Pranum, they were complaining.
The deputy defense minister said they will not apologize. What happened in parliament until we get to the bottom of that matter? These things will keep happening and nothing will. They will do it and get away with it. And then, me afraid can. Unam Kruma, soldier for Ninam. Okotina, by Okonomus, soldier 40 or no marche uniform just to show them. No, they are all. If you bring a lion from the forest or the bush to the house and begin to play with it, nobody fears it any longer. One day, a soldier for no, they will face a resistance.
That is my fear.
I'm telling you
that one day civilians will just rise up.
They will face a resistance
across the country,
and that is very dangerous.
And they can't stand it.
That is very dangerous, and we must not get to that point. Because when it happens, the civilians no longer care about their lives. All they want to do is to resist, and you can't push back somebody who is resisting, an angry person. You see what mind bimu, and when it happens, you think that you have the gun. If people are marching up onto you, how many can you kill before they catch up with you?
Ghana, your military might, yes, 30,000. I say, no, 16,000.
They are less than 30,000.
Yeah, 16,000.
Less than even 20,000.
And how many of them can be armed at a point in time?
But their family members are part of us.
Just 16,000.
Their children and their brothers and sisters who don't have any ammunition. They have forgotten that.
Upon paper, Wabusia for Kruma. Amama, Wabusia for Kruma. BBC, everybody becomes a victim.
In Ghana, we practice the larger family system. So one way or the other.
Obi ni mobi.
Thank you.
Obi ni mobi.
And when it happens, you hear the defense minister speak recklessly.
Sakwa no ehwan ofriva.
Oh, I need the. Let me say on Ankasani upbringing. Even the minister himself.
No, but how? I think need to crampo the answer the casa no ye kakra.
I see you respect to soldier for.
But the deputy ofriva. Matter say what they you should din down I don't double free is in hobby.
I see they will not apologize.
You Asante so me dankwa.
Na some don't come by now.
And I make us me on the din me or ye nipa me who we are said that. And I just want to find out what ye easting for this
is one be
or ye easting for the be a me who in psyche.
Some no say money or the money mine no.
Because I cannot.
This thing is bad. It's bad. And we must begin to speak up against it. Sir, soldiers can get up full deployment. Are you going to war? Are you going to war?
Or the Amakwa. Oh, okay, so you don't go Amakwa.
Because tanks now almost deployed that day, no. It's like
a helicopter, right?
Helicopter. They were flying low, very low.
So Air Force were part. The military.
Almost a video pen on much wabo. Why would you beat up somebody who is videoing? Because you know what you were doing was wrong.
Anyway, so a quick test message from Badasu says, Bobie, if a lion frequents the market area, it will be treated like a puppy. That is where this government is gradually turning the military into. All right, so the military would say, "Madam, for me, that." Chaze,
Mother.
Yeah.
I'm in champion for me no Machia.
How much also?
Machia Ghana for a team for Narrow. As a friend that Jala is bizarre. So until I say this soldier for so my bag no move food. The people are not complaining. Are we okay?
But the end of the taxes if you so we can complain.
What to 2 man is on Quaco. Mon pento qua, mo conto qua, mo nyata mo swafu for the bags. Mon pento qua.
Obanche dia. No wa pe o ma mo ma wo.
Mon pento qua.
Would mean no about the entry so ma nanyo. En go fresh so jani se on na nsem odi nti o mewo. No wo so a omunyi aba no nye troka.
Ye mo bi bi so.
Soldier for 7 there. Ya kan but then say my madrin so munti. Because the commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces, Anadu Dankwa Gufado, na anke sefata said by this time, Wakahubi. I want Kasana dear, I just say, well, Nimuhubi, because High Commander, no, or no, the leading High Commander, no, military High Commander, Nina, Ashona Nasi, what does it? And you know, Nanadia, nya ne ehia ne ni esi wo baabi a anka waka ho asem George Floyd na mo kasala mo kano owu ya na ye be ye na yi o Ghana ha pepe so no life no matter America ni na what Ashiaman na ye boy what is the problem he doesn't care normal Agwadu doesn't care timma ye nko ya ni ko na me ba na mo discuss adutum
yes
the decision say obe collapse non-performing schools.
That was a disaster.
You'll be not me penasem. But I am beginning to get disappointed in Dr. Yao Aduchumu. So I say school and performia, good school. See you go and parliament a treasure too.
Da.
Na flat house.
I guess you.
I got flat house, yo.
I think sir, we support two argument I'm here about 2 weeks ago. There was educational system. NASC school so a be a grade A. School be a grade B. A be a C. D and a E up to Neoho. You are a minister supervising over this system. A system a
colonial system.
A promote to segregation.
That's right.
A system a putting the schools apart. This system clearly demonstrates that school nina enyepe. At the end of the day, schools nina throw the same exams. And they are all expected to enter into tertiary with past grades.
In the other, I want to say question A, question B class, C class,
D. The same class, they do the same, the regular students.
Yeah, me was category D school.
No, I'm category D
exams.
But don't go finding you now, A for intro.
Yeah, now we see more being. You see, this is where the problem came from. And anything I will for ni be a omuboto mudono. Obetua na the bankers grade A school. Because your system promotes corruption. Your system is not fair. Do you get it? And yet ne pay. But then let me proceed. Me tisino ye teacher. Ansah no Ghana.
Yeah.
I hear say he manages a school.
He has a school in the US.
Say what trad there? You will know say we child psychology.
Yeah.
You will know say enkwani be near some are slow learners.
Different levels.
Mo pick at different levels. To me obi wa wuni mu na abra multi class e primary school. Now on ka. But ne we share now you are surprised. Never betimi aye. Do you get it? Your system are you pretty. Yeah, what kind of exams are we writing? Yeah. What's in is it promotional or assessment exams? BEC exams are a promotional and now assessment exams. You trust who pass here, not you do call the next level, and I say you share what dreams and it here. You see, that is where the problem is. The educational structure. Many who can teachers who are supposed to know constituency be a district be uncle. Qualified, most qualified degree holding teachers and who supposed to some schools they won't go. You have not been able to take care of that problem. Set teachers in the school be you see, how are you motivating them to go to those deprived community secondary schools are now? Then tell man phone call and say, sir, if there's a secondary school, I'm in fact Pafu secondary. I go for say who small be teacher need so
okay, some of me move to the same region.
Yeah.
Onimo. Inchumuru.
Yeah. Okay. Do you get it? That is the problem. And too small be so on teacher needs on call. We're pushing our own call. Do you get it? That is the problem. And they bring it this non-performing. What me call school from 1 to from 3. Maybe a math teacher near Bakupe.
complaints are man for the sending one easy.
Do you get it? And so now, no be the kind Kasaye was talking about extra classes. Extra classes are a rip-off. Teachers now are instituting extra classes just so they can pad their pockets. If you're a teacher and you really mean to teach, who first subjects, who review WAEC exams now, you know who prepare client to go and write exams. Form 3, then you would Form 1, you introduce the Akrano. Form 2, no. Form 3, who prepare just to go and write exams. That's what you do.
Go school 1 week, no alcohol. 3 weeks in the extra classes.
And no issue. This is what we are talking about. And if you're a minister of education, not just a minister who manages school, a minister who just sponsor to go and study. Now who concludes non-performing schools no, megu sa schools no. Na me di nkwa na koka. Who do you know? Who don't call Achimota?
I don't know.
They won't take them. Who don't know?
I wanted the Omoko, I know
that is the problem. You see, a fundamentals, a foundation. And to train more teachers, make the teaching job attractive. Asa.
And tell your president to stop discouraging teachers. Say teacher, you man abeya
so bet na kra ha. No obiji tum so be kosa. Akotra de wo hono ma ketua, the incentives will not be the same. Ni awaje tum so be kosa no ebia accommodation ni bibia ni nyina you take everything, but we say it will motivate people to go. But say o si teacher ni bangaro ko damu a just say otuaka school bangers. There was a release like that. Yes, school amount bangalo no.
Nana Jakubu sa very brilliant question. Say, okay, so Nkolano, what deploy or moko schools, other schools, teachers no go fee.
No, but that is the meaning, because what good school? And most of these schools, and your government, and you're buying a tea school no. Ebia community no and artist school no and are binding and serving. Some schools are for the churches. What is it? Sorry, artist school no are buying school does no. They are buying school. But if you're a minister and you talk like this, but then as usual, institutional somewhere by maintain Dr. Clementa Parkinka.
No. She has touched on it, and tomorrow we are going to work on it.
But Bobie, I said I'm to you now.
Yes.
Yes. Education. You need to start tabling education for discussion on this platform.
Okay.
What is happening in the educational sector in Ghana? And I'm saying, any health sector, next call strike, another call strike, obe wu nenti no. What is happening in that sector? Unkola was second year. Almost go school 10th January. By 17th February, 1 month. Yeah. 3 days to make way for the first years
to enter.
Enter Columbia Bedu FAC and as a parent, what they call extra classes. Who at all has put a gun to Akufado's head to implement this thing called free SHS? The problem we are having, I think McCarthy has raised very, very, very cogent issues. The mere fact of America, no what a pretty school America. And qualified as an educationist who understand how to manage education.
And somebody just
sent me some of these comments you didn't even come in the first place.
Somebody sent me a message and Kwesi says he doesn't have any school in reference to June, that he doesn't have any school in America. He is translingual class where the Spanish go and better their okay, so Chaze, SPANGLES. SPANGLES. The pronunciation is it? Okay, so they go there to polish their English and Spanish. That's all. That's what he's saying.
But they can say, education sector on. In my because we are shiny ye. Now to tune your year. A few years to come, the best you're gonna any fekra. As we speak right now, only some of them are GSS more.
I'm try BC.
I'm try BC. So criteria now, yeah, they be promoting collab from GSS to SSC. No, it's not defined anymore.
See, I've been chaff no.
More than 3-4 years near, you change educational curricula. Basic ne textbooks. I'd bet you there. Come now, and buy you
at the basic level.
Teaching learning math. Now, what's your memu? Now, so quite motor school. When you get 6 at work. Ebia kwa kwa for tech dia. Ebia onya I get 20 now beko. And yet to go to BC the same exams. We say wasi. Who expect to say Nkola free that area and Nkrofo we know. They get the same results.
Grade. And you are telling me that you close on the school.
I visit schools. I'm here computer science. Some schools even one computer commonly be. A teacher have to sketch it on a board. Now collecting cry or no one tablet to that. On the computer on the field this year and that. How do you set the same examination for these two people?
Anyway,
now my last one is education organ. Is it only meant for people to read and write and pass an examination?
Yes.
Is that what education is all about?
Write, pass and forget.
Is that what education is all about? Then we have it all wrong.
So which means both two parties in here, they are not thinking.
No, we need to really sit down and think about this issue.
Both NDC and PP, they are not thinking.
Obey me track grace. Obey track grace ni now. Ni as we are failing mathematics. And no 20 Uncle School biom. And obi are failing even English language. I can share art, name, technical manner. Or yeah, dear pa.
EMS.
What system do we have?
Anyway, all right. So but an American, if you bet me I said we are, I think saying I say you're committed. My secretary say he's a very good researcher. Constituency yes no. Into me a man a slot every Wednesday and Friday be a menino. And give and take because I read a whole lot of stuff from the page and it's very interesting and some of the things he writes fascinate me. It's just like my lecturer a friend is saying Charles McCarthy so on a semi brofo so me brofo na metia on a trebe
window no mabie transfer window
David yeah try work out 2024 yeah come yeah try work out 20. Okay, so quick one you go here Professor Frimpong Boateng because no time so but we need to deal with these matters. Professor Frimpong Boateng, there is too much suffering in the system.